coming to you live from Las Vegas, right outside the Lion's Den, with your host, Steve Matthes. And now strap in and get ready. It's showtime.
I just don't like the guy. The guy's just a douchebag.
Wah, wah, wah. Another day.
Rick. Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you, PulpMX RacerX live podcast show. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming out. Look at you people. Fantastic. Every time we do one of these things, it's amazing. They buy tickets. It's just amazing.
Well, it's amazing we convinced people to come all the way to Patterson. Maybe a few didn't make it. I'm not sure.
I don't know anything about Patterson,
Might be the last thing you ever
but...
do. Sorry, everybody, but don't worry. They're going to re-annex and rezone and change the name, and it's going to be called like Woodland Heights, Forest Hills, or something, and it'll be fine.
Right.
That's how we do it here.
Well, I was at a dealer earlier, and somebody said, that show's in Patterson? I'm like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure where that's at. Like, you guys have police escort, or you guys are you coming armed? And I'm like,
let's give it up for Jason Thomas, everybody. Fly Racing Zone and New Jersey Zone. The prodigal son has returned. Jason Weigandt. And if anybody here remembers him flagging, please, we'll take questions later. We need some proof of this.
I really do need proof of this.
Yes,
I do.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Thanks again for coming. Thank you to Yamaha for making this happen. Who's Blue Crew out there? Who's Blue Crew? There we go. Thank you, Yamaha. Appreciate it. Absolutely fantastic guys down there, whether it's a piano, a sound system, or a YZ450F. They've got you covered. It's fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks to Yamaha for making it happen. We got Davey Coombs coming, everybody, later on. Davey Coombs will be up here.
Yep. Well, he's scheduled. But he's in Manhattan right now.
He's lost in the city, which happens.
We'll see.
Right.
Bangkok has him.
Yeah. Bridge and tunnel.
And also, Weege. One more special guest tonight coming up later.
I can't even say it.
He's up here.
You can't even say it?
I can't even. I'm heart palpitations right now. I'm a little nervous.
He started sweating, and we talked backstage for a minute. I could see you beating up a little bit.
Barry Carsten will join us, everybody. New Jersey Zone. What a legend. What a legend of New Jersey motocross. It's fantastic to have Bear Dog here. Davey Coombs, of course. Thank you, Clint. Everybody, how was Clint's stand-up act? We like it? It was good? Yeah, Clint. Thanks for coming out and doing that. He helped organize the show. Thanks to The Loft also. It's fantastic to have them on board with us. And these shows are really working well. Like Denver went well.
Yeah, Denver went well, and we're making so much money that we decided, if you go to New Jersey, the taxes are going to be higher.
Yeah.
We're going to pay union labor. So somehow we're going to offset all those costs.
Yeah, it'll all work out, right?
We hope.
To keep building those jug heads or whatever goes.
Jug handles.
Jug handles. I don't know. I don't know.
He told me I had to make a jug handle U-turn earlier, and I'm like,
yeah.
What the hell did you just say?
It's a brilliant idea, actually. It just prevents left-hand turns, which slows everything down. It's
I almost wrecked
beautiful.
this because I was looking over at you like, what is coming out of your mouth?
No left turns.
Tried to get J-Law. Didn't happen. It didn't work.
Strangely, those
we thought we had it.
We did.
Yes, we thought we had it.
It was amazing.
I mean, no one's heard from the guy in 12 years now.
We went in a teepee and put some smoke out and...
well, smoke would probably be one of the few things.
It didn't work, but...
that would actually get Jason Lawrence to come.
That actually brings me to my first question tonight. Before we can talk about New Jersey Supercross, before we talk about anything else... Before we talk about Barry...
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Phil. We got Barsha. We got these New York guys, J-Law and all this. But you're from Jersey. You claim these New York guys.
No, I claim Justin Barsha, born in New Jersey. We claim it properly.
Barsha's born in Jersey.
Barsha's born in Jersey.
He claims
New
New York.
Barsha? Is Barsha all right? Yeah.
But, besides you, a lot of greater New York
I don't care
area...
if he lived in New York. He was born in New Jersey, and we're claiming it.
Do you claim Phil?
No, Phil can suck it.
Phil can suck it.
Who would ever claim Phil?
I'm just saying.
Phil's probably hurting New York right now.
So, do you claim any New York guys? Ryan Mills, any of these dudes?
No. They can have Phil. They can have Phil all they want, but we did have J-Law. And let me tell you something. When J-Law would line up at Englishtown, everybody. In the schoolboy class, which allows for 85s through 125s.
Yep.
12-year-old through 15-year-old. This kid would be at an RM85, I was 12 years old, battling 15-year-olds on 125s and giving them all they could handle. I had never seen anything like it. I mean, the bumps were so much bigger for his bike with small wheels, and he was doing all the jumps, and he was battling those dudes. It was all the 15-year-olds could do on 125s to beat this 85cc rider named Jason Lawrence. And I was like, hey, so what's the deal with this kid? And they're like, yeah, we got some stories for you.
Yeah.
If you want to know the stories about this kid.
Always.
Yes. I think he's permanently banned from Englishtown and also every other motocross track in the world. Yes.
My favorite J-Law story out of all of them, not the time he was rolled down the big giant tractor tire at all the kids, not the time he was throwing chewed up fruit from his mouth at spectators, none of that. My favorite J-Law
rental car.
My favorite J-Law story is mid-moto getting on the Supercross track at Budds Creek.
Oh, that was good.
Mid-moto.
That was good.
Right, hanging a right at the top of the hill by Henry Hill there, and doing a couple laps on the Supercross track. Fantastic.
During the race?
Yeah.
He just pulled off and found the Supercross track.
And then
at
jumped
Budds
back
Creek.
on, I guess. Yeah, fantastic. J-Law, everybody.
Yeah, Vegas tops all that. Legally, I'm bound to not go into details on everything
J-Law's
that happened in
championship
Vegas.
party.
Yeah. Yeah, he did like 2 laps of the shootout.
Right.
Did one big whip, and then he just pulled right past us. We were in staging trying to pick our gate for the 450, and we're all standing there, and he just goes right past us, and they're like, he's headed to the Palms. He is on his way literally to the Palms.
Probably rode the motorcycle
3
to the
laps
Palms.
into the main event for the 250, yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. So many stories.
This is what I've always wondered. Yes, so we know Barry Carsten, a legend,
Right.
many New Jersey legends.
Yep.
We'll talk about Mickey Kessler a little bit later in the show. But I've always wondered, how does New Jersey feel about Jason Lawrence? Are you Jason Lawrence fans?
I mean, how could you not be?
I don't know. At some point, it was so negative that I don't know if people want to
he was
associate.
such a dick sometimes.
Yes, so I don't know if people fully want to own that.
I don't know. I think you do. A lady flipped me off today. Like a nice lady driving to the mall, flipped me off. I think it's fine. It's, you're a dick, but you're Jersey's own dick. Right?
I feel like if you're going to be the baddest, I don't mean baddest like in a badass way, but just bad. If you're just going to be the just baddest guy that's ever raced, you should be from New Jersey.
It
actually makes perfect sense.
It works out perfectly, right?
Yeah, for sure. I just think that's a way of life here. Like, driving from the airport yesterday, guy's blowing his horn, screaming at me. I can read the F words coming out of his mouth from the next car over. I honk back and start MFing him back, and then after about 30 seconds, we both look at each other and are like,
we're good.
We just move on. Like, we found our common ground.
It's different out here.
Yeah.
It's different out here. All right, New Jersey Supercross. Anybody here was in the Meadowlands back in the day? Meadowlands? We had, what, two? Three?
No, 4. 87 to
Meadowlands
91.
Supercross.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
yeah. RJ's heyday for a while,
Right.
87 and 88. That was good times for RJ.
You were here? Were you flagging? Or,
No, I was not.
Were you flagging that one?
It's not flagging at 8 years old. That was back in the day where the riders
Well, you're running the race now? It's going to get bigger and bigger?
Yeah, it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Right,
I was doing the checkered flag.
Okay, all right,
and working the starting gate. I remember RJ, these old Supercross races, the dudes would walk out in the middle of the track, like they would just be walking the track after their heat race during the night show.
While the race is going on?
Yeah, there was like no restrictions on it. I remember RJ came out in all blue gear after his heat race, like after the semi.
Checking out the lines. Right.
And everybody was just freaking out over RJ. Now, if RJ rolled into this stadium tomorrow, no one would even recognize him. That's how the sport works.
Probably not.
No, it's terrible.
I'll never forgive RJ. 86 throwback Anaheim race. Rides out on a KTM because they were giving him some bikes.
Shit. You can't.
Come on, RJ.
RJ's a Honda guy. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, look, great.
89, Jeff Stant won.
Okay.
Jeff Ward had it.
Yeah.
Transmission broke while leading.
Yeah, we're fine.
Stant won.
Yeah, we're good.
1990 was Jean-Michel Bale. Some guy in the crowd said, "Hey, Michelle's a girl's name, fag." Which you couldn't even say that now.
Right.
But in 90 it was okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on to tomorrow's race. Tomac's won 2 in a row. Who the hell knows if he's going to win again? Like, seriously. I could see him winning the next 2 this weekend in Vegas, of course.
Yeah, I'll pick him to win the next 2.
Right.
But I have zero confidence in that.
But, I mean, has he finally figured it out?
Is anyone confident that Eli Tomac's got it figured out for the rest of time? Anyone? No, nobody.
Nobody.
100% of the audience.
We had a week off, so God knows what happened in that week off to lose the momentum or whatever. But if you're Webb, like you got 18 points.
Boo.
No.
Boo. Hey,
I
this
know
is
you have to
Jersey,
wear Fly
bro.
Racing like for your hat, but I mean,
Wow.
Everything he says is okay.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
If you're Webb, though, you got 18 points. If you see Tomac coming up on you, you're just like, yep.
Go wherever you'd like.
Put your blinker on.
Yep.
I'm moving over here.
I'll just follow you to the checkers.
Yes, just please go, green man, green scary, tall man, go.
Yep.
I will follow behind you. Because you got 18 points, right? Am I right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's basically do everything you can to stay out of trouble. Nobody cares who wins. As long as you can see Tomac, we're good.
You know, all the struggles Tomac has had, it always goes back to the same thing. There's probably bike settings and all that involved, but all anyone really wants to talk about is the person, not some mechanical parts thing. And they talk about...
Steve does.
Yes, setup.
Setup.
Steve's all about setup, everybody.
Setup with the amateurs is one thing that I like talking about.
Yes. The Troy Lee Designs rig, incidentally.
Right. Where are you going with this?
You'll love this.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So their rig had to go from Denver, our last race, to here in New Jersey, and then back to Las Vegas. It had to come all the way out here for Mitchell Falk, one bike under that truck, because he is under a contract.
Yes.
Whether they like it or not.
Yeah, I mean,
he's under a contract.
Yep.
So they had to drive cross country both ways twice to have a full factory semi for one guy, Mitchell Falk. Is that what you like?
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. I mean, honestly, Tyler Keefe could just light that money on fire and stay home in California. It would have been the best thing. Or maybe pit with a KJSC.
Yeah, KJSC.
Yeah, right.
It's perfect.
Just be, hey, Mitchell, we can't make it.
He can meet.
Yeah.
You give him a little bit bigger gear. He meets with Ryan Dungey. He pumps him up.
Right.
He
gets to high five
Maybe
Ryan
the kids
Dungey.
can help you with some lines.
You do this the next track walk after the riders. You go out there with them. No big deal. It's fun.
Gets to take his gear home for free.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's remarkable about getting back to the series?
Yeah.
You know what's remarkable about Webb's? Okay, I should have done the research. How many? If Tomac wins the next two, he will have won 8 or 7.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Webb's got 6.
It's actually, he'll win 6. He'll have won 6. Yeah.
No, he just won 2 in a row. And he won San Diego, that's 3.
Daytona.
And he won Daytona, that's 4.
Yeah.
And he won 1 more.
You guys are idiots.
He won the Triple Crown.
Triple Crown. So he'll have
Triple
7.
Crown.
So he'll have 7, correct.
He's going to have more wins if he wins the next 2 than Cooper Webb. Once again, he will lead the series with the most wins and not have a title.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So this debate we were having a couple of weeks ago, Eli claims it's bike setup, which I know you're a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying,
No, I mean, we're on round 15.
What's that?
We've been on round 15. He rode the bike in August.
Well, there were
figuring it out.
estimations. It wasn't. Yeah.
Still figuring it out. I get it. I get it. It's a lot of work. I mean, yeah.
It was good at Monster Cup.
Yeah, it was.
It was good. Actually, both Cowies were good.
Yeah.
Except the one that went slow in the last couple of turns.
He's really good at Motocross Nations. Really good.
Oh boy, here we go. Trigger point for him.
Yeah. He's still angry.
Right.
So as soon as Tomac was struggling and he gets it fixed, no one wants to talk about bike parts. They want to talk about these guys are head cases. They're all head cases. So I was talking to some of the people on the TV crew, which I'm not a part of, but I still talk to them.
Ralph's good.
Yeah.
Ralph's good.
I know your team, Ralph.
Ralph's good.
Team Ralph.
Right.
So they're like, they're all head cases. I'm like, you know who's not a head case? Cooper Webb.
Yeah.
Look at what Cooper Webb is doing. That is the exact example of if you're not a head case, you just do the right thing every weekend.
How many times have we seen him suck balls in the whoops, in the big whoops this year, right?
That's a strong statement.
Yep.
I don't want to relate those two things.
Okay.
It's a lot of visual things happening in my mind.
Qualify.
He hasn't been good in the whoops, yeah.
Qualify 8th, struggle with whoops, can't get it done, whatever. But when it comes to the main event, guess who's up front or in top 5 in the start or whatever? It's Cooper Webb.
Yeah, he makes it happen every time.
Right.
That's not being a head case.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever problems he's dealing with, the 21 minutes that counts, he makes it happen.
He's the epitome of that cliche of he's a racer, right? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Things aren't going
He's
well.
got it.
Like Kenny Roxon's been that way for years. It's
Yeah.
like, practice sucked. Chad Reed does this too. He's a racer. He'll be fine.
Chad's fine.
Don't even
Yeah.
worry about it.
Right.
Yeah. But he has redefined that term this year at times. Detroit was one. I was texting Steve like, how confident are you? He can't do better than 9th.
I've been on Team Webb
He
for a while.
sucks. And then I'm like, oh, shit, he's winning again. Like,
I don't know if you folks have noticed, but Steve and JT disagree on literally everything.
Life itself.
Yes. We can only share certain things on the internet and on podcasts that they disagree on, mostly motocross topics, but don't worry, every other topic you can disagree on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Out of motorcycle racing, they also disagree.
Pretty much. That's
Right.
how it works.
it's not that
Right.
we really disagree. You're just wrong a lot.
I mean, absolutely. When I got on the Webb thing, I've been wrong. You're right. I mean, he's going to clinch.
It's not over yet.
I'm terribly wrong.
It's not over.
You're right. It's not. 18 points. It is not over. We've seen Anderson last year, Salt Lake City, goes in, breaks a wheel.
Bradshaw, 27 points with 2 races to go.
Is he here?
I hope not. God, I hope not.
Yeah, don't remind him. Never mind him.
Shit, we're sharing a room too.
Oh, he's there.
So screwed.
Oh, yeah, good. Great work.
I'm so screwed.
Great work.
Damon, I'm sorry.
He's going to beat the shit out of all
I'm
of
sorry.
us. You know what, though? It'll be awesome.
Damon's probably not remembering if he ever raced in New Jersey before.
Right.
Like when we went to Houston and he didn't remember winning and he won like 3 times or something.
Yep.
Yes. The final one in 91 of the Meadowlands. Classic Stan Bradshaw. But Stan won.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, let's move on to the other guys. So Webb, Tomac going at it. Tomac may win out. Webb's going to still win the title, we think, we hope. Tomorrow's weather report. We're good?
We should be good. It's been a rough day.
Okay.
We were light showers. Had a stray thunderstorm, actually, roamed through the area. But tomorrow we should be good. It'll be a little cool in the morning.
Okay.
Cooler than we'd prefer, but we'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Newsflash, track's covered. None of this matters. None of this matters. Track will be fine tomorrow.
So let's go back to Denver a couple weeks ago. Marv's had a week off to just think about how he blew this thing. He's winning. He's trying to catch Webb.
Did Marv blow this
But
thing?
did he blow it more, or did Eli blow it more?
I mean, if you're Marv, you can't do that. You can't get caught by two the guys.
But if
you're leading the race.
If Eli wins out or whatever happens, if he ends up the 3rd year in a row with the most wins, I think Eli blew it more.
Okay, yeah, we've moved on from that. We're talking about Marv now at Denver. Marv was right in the fight.
We're in a blow-it shootout right now.
Right.
Who blew it more?
Who blew it more?
Who blew it more? We're in a blow-it shootout.
we are in Patterson, New Jersey, but
there's shootouts.
Right.
That's why they call them East-West showdowns.
That was not a great race for Marv, and
no, it was bad.
The one thing that he's gotten second 3 series in a row, and now he may get 3rd.
Oh, so he's actually taking steps back.
I'm just saying maybe
He's
it's a
gone from a
little
second
less.
place
It's
guy
a
to a
little less
third.
pressure, right? It's a little less pressure.
We are all assuming, as I like to do, this guy's going to go 1-1 and this guy's going to go 2-2. You mentioned something.
That's
it's
your
my
favorite.
favorite. There's 2 things that I really enjoy. A, predicting mud races on Monday.
Yep.
When they can cover the track and we're going to
Me
be fine.
too.
Yeah, amazing. And assuming points that are going to be scored before the races are run. Last year, Jason Anderson in the next to last round caught a foot peg in his spokes and finished like 18th.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it can happen.
Nothing is over.
Yeah, okay. All right. Got it.
Get your tickets now. Monster Energy Supercross.
Listen, Ralph got the job, bro. You promoting Supercross ain't going to help. Ralph's got it. All
I'm
right.
a team player, man.
They're
I'm on board.
down.
Sean Brennan's not here.
I'm on board.
He was at Denver.
He's at Troll Train.
I mean, are you going to throw it to Ricky and then just hear crickets?
I'm going to throw it to Daniel Blair.
Okay, all right,
Great
fantastic. So the East Coast, 250 East Coast, coming down. Faulkner's got this ACL meniscus problem. Probably hasn't ridden. He's got 3 points on Sexton. Justin Cooper.
He's got a monster girl, though.
Long Island's own Justin Cooper.
Oh, we know they're claiming Justin Cooper.
Oh, they are, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. They really can't, but that's
Is
fine.
Justin Cooper going to win the title? Is Justin Cooper going to win Saturday night?
Okay.
Is Justin Cooper the greatest rider in the history of the sport? All right, there we go.
All right,
Sensing a
fantastic.
pattern here.
I like Justin Cooper because he went to school. I like that. He went to school.
He did. He went to school.
He
Went to
school.
York.
Anyways,
college. Yeah.
Hey, so, I mean, Faulkner's got 3 points, but, I mean,
It's going to be hard. It's going to
right?
be hard, yeah.
He can't possibly beat the. He doesn't have to just ride in protection mode and beat.
No, it's going to take everything he has to beat those guys.
And how does he do that?
You know what's crazy is that he was winning and he won all the races leading up to the incident, right? So if you look at that on paper, you would think Fonseca, Carmichael, McGrath, these dominating 125/250
Ferry.
regional series. No. That's not how I viewed this. As good as Faulkner was, he won all the races. The margin of his betterness, that's probably not a word, wasn't that big to me. Like he
interesting.
He was better. So to think he's going to go into these races super injured, I think he's got a significant injury, and it's not even really that secret anymore.
Now you're a doctor and a weatherman. It's impressive.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express
Yes.
last night.
No, I don't know how he's going to do it.
It's going to be
I see what you're
really,
saying.
really
He wasn't
tough.
winning the races by 30 seconds.
No.
So if he's
I'm going to
slightly
I
off,
disagree with him, by the way.
you think it was dominating?
He was dominating.
I
he
mean,
was
on
dominating.
paper,
he
on
was
paper,
gone.
yes.
He was
They
gone.
disagree, everybody.
He was
But
gone.
on paper, you're right. But
There we go.
Go back to
whenever
Arlington.
he-
All right, the show's going to go on until 10 o'clock now.
Go back to Arlington. Like he won. I'm not saying you're wrong as far as on paper. I'm just saying the margin of his domination was very small. He was getting it done though. He was getting it done.
The margin of domination, that's a...
But getting into now,
Domination
he's severely injured. Take whatever percent you deem necessary off that. I don't think that's enough to win. And
So
he's going to
you're
have to
saying
win.
domination. a small margin of domination is large.
I think domination
is big.
Right.
Okay, so a small level of domination.
Right. But
okay, hold on.
All right.
If he had able, this was, let's say this was the weekend he got injured. He gets injured tomorrow. Fantasyland. Okay, he's got a 26-point lead going in tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think maybe he's okay. He rides a little bit. He gets 10 points, 14 points, whatever.
Right.
He can go into Vegas and manage that. He's got to win now. There's no window anymore. There's no I've got this cushion. It's you have to win, and that's the problem.
JT, you raced for how many years professionally?
100.
I don't know, 30.
A long time.
Who had more numbers in the 30s, Bear Dog or
we're going to battle.
Okay,
JT
we're gonna
and
figure that out.
Bear Dog.
Right. Okay.
Both number 31 at one point.
Both everything in the 30s.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything.
Yes.
Little known fact, I'm actually 119 years old.
At this point.
That's how many times I ride.
Your knees probably feel like 231 years old because you've had to ride through not having an ACL.
2 times.
What is that like?
It
2
sucks.
times you've dealt with what Forkner is dealing with. So what is it like?
Yeah, it sucks. It's
Yeah, it sucks.
Okay, fair.
yeah. I mean,
What's up, Ricky?
it gets better. It gets better, but not in 2 weeks. So I think he's going to be able to ride if it'll stay in the joint. That's the whole thing. If it'll stay in place, he'll be able to ride. But he's only going to be able to ride at 70, 80%, 2 weeks removed from that series, 3 weeks removed. If this was 6 weeks from now, I would raise my chances big time.
You know what's going to help him though? It steals some points from Sexton and Cooper.
Oh boy.
Marty
is back.
Oh boy.
Oh, now it's your guy?
Marty is he's now not
it's your
my
guy?
guy. How many people think I'm going to be cleaning the shop at Pro Circuit? Yep, me too. Me fucking too. Thanks a lot. And when my athlete, my guy Troll, should be in bed early.
Yeah, how do you feel right now? He's dressed up as an actual troll right now.
He's an actual troll in the city of New York right now.
Yeah, he's in New York City dressed up as a troll. He's got purple hair and makeup
Thanks
on.
a lot, jerk ass.
That's what he's
Alex
doing for
Martin.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
yes.
But Marty can take some points, maybe. Again.
Marty did the job. He did actually beat Sexton and Cooper.
Cooper may or may not have forced that pass.
They both crashed
We're
each
in New
other
Jersey and New York area. Cooper did nothing wrong.
Fantastic pass.
Yes. Great
Sexton
job.
shouldn't have gotten his way around the outside of that turn where he had nowhere to go. It was Sexton's fault.
Sexton's fault.
Sexton's fault.
Right.
Yes.
But Marty could win again because Marty is Marty.
He could. Sexton's going to win
The
tomorrow.
little Ecuadorian rabbit.
Calling it. Sexton
Take
will win.
off.
Sexton wins.
Marty will win Vegas. Marty will win tomorrow.
Wow. Marty and Tomac winning out.
Who are you right now?
He looks good. Marty looks good.
He looked good.
So
One race.
he's going to take those 3 points away from Sexton and help Austin Forkner out.
You know, I talked to Sexton today at press day, and he had to reference a certain season when there was a rider that won this championship without winning a race.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
Do you know who that rider was, Steve?
What a hero. You want to talk about managing a title the whole way. Letting Ron and Ricky buy you
Dowd
every week and then watching them cartwheel and then riding by to get a second and a third.
Yeah.
Tim Ferry was fantastic. It was a fantastic way to manage that championship.
Chase Sexton is prepared to Tim Ferry this.
I mean, I would. For that bonus check is still good, right?
Yeah, $350K.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
Yeah, I would. There's not much I wouldn't do.
Right.
It doesn't matter because Justin Cooper is going to win the title, right? Justin Cooper, everybody? Cheap heat.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah. Cheap heat.
You can tell you're a wrestling guy.
Yeah, it's cheap
Tell
heat.
you're a wrestling guy. Yeah.
I'm really pumped to be here in Patterson, New Jersey, everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward, JT, for the top fly racing rider because Justin Bogle was the top fly racing rider in Denver.
He was, yeah. That's actually
he was.
He was. Yeah.
Justin Bogle
I'm
was.
still worried about Bradshaw back there, ready to kill me.
He's going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
But we got Zach Osborne, we got Bogle, and we got Baggett going at it for top fly racing rider.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's for us, we just want to see guys do well and get on the podium. That would be great. But for Justin Bogle, who wasn't even in the plans until late December, to be that good in fourth place, that's awesome. That's pure bonus for us.
What about Zacho, though?
What about
Are we going to get?
We're going back to Bercy.
Are we going to get a moment here?
Really?
We need to go overseas.
Oh, God.
Okay,
we got to go overseas.
He's used
that's
to Europe.
where we shine.
He's used to Europe.
Yeah, that's where we shine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Zach's been up and down. Some good.
Well, down is mean like on the ground down.
Down.
Yeah.
I don't see him making the podium these last two, but outdoors we could
How
be
many
a factor.
times you said that?
I need to sleep in his motorhome at the Nationals.
That's so weird.
On Saturday night.
That's a weird deal you're trying to cook for yourself.
Why?
I don't know.
Who wants to get up balls early, drive to the track 40 minutes away when you can? Zach's mom is the motorhome driver. She'll cook breakfast. You'll sleep there.
You and Zach, mom, and him are just kumbaya.
We're waking up in the morning. We're gonna eat some bacon and eggs and go to the race.
Yeah. Zach also has a 11-month-old baby.
I don't think
and a 3-year-old. And Steve says, "I got dogs." It's the same. I got dogs. It's just like having baskets.
I don't think they'll be there. So
really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't
dogs?
think no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, I hope that works out for me and Osborne. So I'm gonna pump Osborne's tires and sleep in his motorhome. I hope.
Oh, you're pumping the
on
tires.
a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Couple things we want to touch on before we do the X-Brand Goggle tear-offs, and we're going to get some audience questions before Bear Dog and before Davey Coombs. Brought to you by Yamaha, by the way, this whole thing. The whole thing's from
Blue
Yamaha.
Crew.
Blue Crew.
Yep.
Where's part 2?
He's gone back in the rabbit hole.
Where's part 2?
Of who?
Stu!
Oh, yeah. Well, they're working on a tripod.
We're working on a tripod.
Tripod.
There is an island somewhere. There's Amelia Earhart on it, JFK, James Stewart, and Jason Lawrence. They're all hanging out on the island.
And they're on there.
Yeah, they're all hanging out
I mean,
together. Yes.
It's like, if you looked at it at Stu's presence, it was basically like a flatliner, like a dead guy on the side of the road in some fiery car wreck.
Yep.
And then brought back to life.
Well, it wasn't one hit, it was a quad. So it was beep, 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 beep. It was 4 hits, so it was a quad.
And then he's failed to capitalize on any momentum that he had with the shaky video. And it's back down to flatlining.
Quad. He didn't jump the quad.
Yeah, we remember.
He didn't jump the quad.
So, yeah, Stu came out of hiding one time. I believe it
Who
was...
are the marketing guys for Stu? Who are these PR people? Who are these marketing guys? Stu, part 1 was good. We got a tripod. Let's do part 2.
I still swear he didn't know there was a video. They just came into his house and said, "Hey, man, let's talk about some days back when you were racing." And then someone was in the back with a phone like, "Oh, I think I got it. Recorded, put it on the internet."
It's like Blair Witch.
And then when he found out, it's been shut down.
You could see a bit of a plant, if you look closely, a bit of a leaf.
Yes,
like from a plant.
yes.
He was
Shot from a
behind it.
grassy knoll.
Yeah, right,
yes. Stu doesn't know this video came out.
I mean,
he doesn't even know.
Why there's not a part 2?
Yeah. Once he found out, it's done.
I don't know.
But what happens first, Stu part 2 or Jason Lawrence part 1?
Jesus. I don't know. I would say Stu part 2. I mean, he's got to sell
I think
some
it's
gear.
filmed. I think it's filmed. I mean, we were hearing rumors of Stu Part 1 in December.
Yeah.
Right? So there was like a 4-month production process.
You could see it.
4 months to get that thing out.
Yes.
With the shaky
You can see it.
stabilization.
4-month
see it.
stabilization.
Right.
Yeah, 2 edits.
Yeah, we sent this thing to George Lucas. It took 4 months, and he finally got it back. It's a little shaky, but I did like my favorite line, and you've brought this up, JT. My favorite line from the Stu Part 1 is, "He can't figure out Eli Tomac either." That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part.
James Stewart confused over the inconsistency of another rider.
Right. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's good. He should win all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why he crashes so much.
Right.
Stu's like, he's really fast. I don't know why it doesn't work out. It doesn't make sense
Like,
to me.
sweet Jesus, if you're a Tomac, you're like, the man that crashes or wins is wondering why I can't
What's
win.
my deal?
What's my deal?
Yes.
I mean, you got to just pack it in at that point,
Yeah.
right? That's it. You just got to.
Pot keep meat kettle.
I don't think that the Tomacs were ever aiming for Stu as our goal. I don't think that was ever where the atmosphere they were trying to
If
be
Eli's at an overseas race and I text you guys
he doesn't do the quad.
that he didn't do the quad, then you know something's wrong.
Eli's good to go now, he said. He's good. He's good. He's not retiring. He's not burnt out. Nothing. He's fine.
That was my theory. Yeah.
We've rehashed that story many times, but for me it never gets old. Like I can remember where I was. I was in Athens, Georgia, at an event, Durhamtown, Georgia. Yep, sure was. We have a ride day there every year, and this was when the Paris terrorist attacks are going on. It's the same weekend of Bercy Supercross.
Right.
And I can remember we have this group text, which if ever gets out, we're all fired. Maybe dead.
Yeah.
Maybe dead.
Yes.
And
I know no amateurs will really like me. You better forget
No.
that.
We had this group text, yes. So there was a terrorist attack in Paris. This is 4 years ago?
I don't know.
Yes.
It was bad.
So we're worried because our buddy Steve is in Paris for a Supercross race.
Yep.
And we were texting him and texting him and texting him. We know there's
Steve, are you
time
okay?
zones.
Steve, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. Anything. Please tell
blink
us you're
twice
all right.
if you're okay.
Yeah.
Now we know time zones are a thing. We're like, maybe he's asleep, but he's not responding. And there's terrorist attacks in Paris, and Matthes is in Paris. and he's not responding. We go to bed, we wake up, still no response. Take it from there, JT.
This is like 12 hours of text later.
Yeah.
Randomly, several hours after our last text, guys, I'm worried. Stu didn't do the quad.
There was press day, and then I got tired with jet lag, and then I fell asleep, but there was a quad that Pike...
We figured the gunshots might wake you.
Yeah.
Pike was doing it. Other guys are doing it. The elite American guys, and Stu was not doing this quad.
Steve's
he was a little overweight at this point.
He was a little overweight.
So you're looking at his physique, and then you're looking at him not doing a quad, and you're like, this could go sideways. And that was my main worry.
Yes, you were like, the terrorist attack was an hour away, we're good, but
Yeah,
the quad!
yeah, no.
He didn't jump the quad!
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yes,
I
yeah.
honestly didn't know. When I went to bed, the terrorist attack was like, hey, there's some gunshots, like 3 people are dead or something,
Yeah.
and then I went to bed. And then
But they didn't have any reports on Stu not jumping the quad.
No, but they really should have. So
I knew that there were like memorials, like people went down to the quad.
Yep.
And put up signs. We'll always remember when you jumped quads.
Wreaths and things
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
We remember
absolutely.
when we'll never forget when you used to jump quads.
No, and that was my first sign that things are going sideways with Stu. So that was it.
Yeah.
Mine was laying on the side of the track after he landed on top of me with a blown ACL.
Oh yeah, that was ugly.
That was
ugly.
when I thought maybe things were going sideways.
Right,
with Stu.
right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the X Brand Goggle Terrace. Where's Clint at? Clint's got the microphone. He's gonna do this. These questions brought to you by Moser. Do you familiar?
No idea. Never heard of him.
No,
Moser?
nothing?
A1?
All right.
Are we doing A1 questions?
No, we're not doing that.
Don't know who Moser is.
We got 30 seconds on the clock. These are brought to you by X Brand Goggles, submitted by Corey Moser. Let's do this, Clint. You should have them, right? Yep.
Here we go. So, yeah, question submitted by a super fan of some sort.
Some guy.
He looks like Andrew Short. That's the rumor.
Yeah.
Heating expert.
Yep.
All right.
She just said I have a TBI, so you got to be slow with me.
Okay, all right.
TBI.
That's what freestyle will get you, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motocross too, I'm
90s moto.
sure. That as well. For JT, what is Matthes' dumbest theory or idea he's preached?
How much time you got?
That's
Is there like a curfew
bullshit
here
question.
or like a
I
last
heard-
call?
no,
or
you
anything
can
that
go
happens
as
here?
long as you
We're
want.
at 6 seconds, so hurry up.
The dumbest theory of it. Oh, man.
I know what it is.
You know what it is?
It's in a vacuum.
Party in Temecula. That's a strong one.
That's
That one was good.
Wait, you will claim
You're
you have one
this
dumber?
self-aware.
Stu being hungry for wins like
Oh, Cujo.
That's pretty
Cujo.
He's
Stu
coming
is
out.
Cujo. He's hungry for
He's
win.
Cujo.
No,
Yeah.
I honestly think Party in Temecula is worse.
Nope.
Yes.
You think that people didn't like Vince Freeze because he didn't party in Temecula. I've never partied in Temecula my whole
we
life.
made a T-shirt. Must be true.
Yeah, we got a better T-shirt.
Yep.
We got a better T-shirt right here. Show it, Delnicki. Look at that. The podcast with each face
Good
shirt.
God. Good
So much
God.
better. Did you use the exhaust discount code on that? All right. Anytime someone's
Should've
saving
used the
money,
Pulp-
I'm
Pulp
impressed.
code.
Thank you, Delnicki. He bought the damn Party in Temecula shirt too.
Good to hear that. Fantastic.
Thought you were cool, Travis.
He gets to ask a question
All right, that's
later.
30 seconds.
If he wants to ask a
There we
question,
go.
he's in.
All right.
Yeah.
Weege, what has been your worst and best TSA experience?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just had one today.
Oh.
2 weekends in a row, Denver and here. I did not have any metal on my person. I took everything in my pockets, took my belt off. I don't have TSA pre-check because that's $90.
Right. Yeah.
I know I fly every
God
weekend.
forbid
No.
you save yourself
No.
hours every weekend.
No.
Right.
No. Nope. I would not
Right.
get TSA pre-check. It's $90.
Right. That is not surprising, but again.
2 weeks in a row, I go through without any metal at all, and they say, "Sir, we're going to have to inspect your groin area."
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it costs $90.
Yeah. So they inspected my groin area, and what they do, apparently it's okay if they use the back of their hand
Yeah.
instead of their palms.
Yep.
They inspected my groin area because apparently they believe I have a weapon.
Yes.
But I was exceptionally proud of our country because today I was surrounded, in front of me and behind me were people of color from a different country. And they did not get pulled for extra screening, only I did. So I'm glad to see that racism and nationalism is officially dead.
Right. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks in a row. The groin area.
You know, I got a weapon.
Wow. All right.
Steve, if Zacho had not gotten hurt coming into Supercross, what would be his best finish?
God, he's an asshole for getting hurt twice.
Banged up.
Second.
Really?
Yep.
You're not calling Zacho for a win.
Second.
Wow.
Second.
Can we talk about how he said I'm just banged up, but I'll be okay? That was the text.
I saw him today, and I called him out
That
on
was
it
the
again.
text.
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally like on his deathbed.
Yeah. He missed 8 weeks of riding, just banged up.
Next question.
JT, what age do you consider a professional supercross, motocross rider to be in their prime?
That's a good question.
That's a serious question.
Bradshaw, 19. Most people,
Yeah.
25.
Marty's just hitting his prime. 32. 32. He's just hitting.
Brayton looks good.
Yeah.
Fly Racing Zone.
Right.
He looks really good at 34. Just saying.
Creepy. All right.
Weege, coming back to Jersey, what do you look forward to the most?
Leave it? No, the food. The food is great. You can't get subs. I don't even call them subs in half the country. They're called subs, everybody. That's the official name. The subs are better. The
They call 'em
pizza's
subs
better.
here?
What's that?
They call them subs here?
Yeah, they're subs. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just heard it no.
non-negotiable.
I just heard it no. Heroes. Hoagies, grinders.
You're not a damn
Subs?
hero. You are not a hero. You are not a hero. You're an anti-hero.
Hoagies and grinders.
It's the least heroic
Hoagies
thing I've
and
ever
grinders.
heard. Yeah. The food is great. And I would also say being able to hang out with my family, but my mom has been texting during this entire show and isn't paying attention to a goddamn word we're saying.
Weege's mom is here. How about a
that
hand for
doesn't count.
Weege's mom, everybody?
Yes. So that doesn't even count.
Right.
My mom's over here too. She's not texting.
Oh, yeah. And Cindy
Oh, no.
Thomas.
No, Cindy Thomas.
She's not texting.
Cindy Thomas does it. It's been laser focused.
She's scoring us right now.
Yes, she is. She's
She's
actually
scoring
hand
us right
scoring
now.
the event. Yes.
All right.
You didn't mention Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
Pork roll.
Oh, you're from Central Jersey.
Yeah, pork roll. Central Jersey
That's-
pork roll.
Like another
yeah.
That's
language.
the debate.
It's like another
What country
language.
are we in?
Right. I don't know.
Steve,
Yep.
if you could go to dinner with only one of the following riders, who do you choose? The Dogger, Damon fucking Bradshaw, or Ross Pedersen?
Oh man.
Ooh, good luck with this.
Timmy would be with you already, right?
I've been to
Timmy
dinner.
would just be with you.
I've been to dinner with two of those gentlemen. I have not been to dinner with Damon Bradshaw. So
Really?
no. I mean, we do the fly show with him. We've talked to him a lot.
Should we call Damon up right now?
I mean,
Damon does not want any part of this.
Damon Bradshaw, please come to the front.
come on up, Damon.
We're bringing up Damon.
This is,
Damon
in your,
Bradshaw.
this is in your official WPS contract.
Oh, okay.
He's probably going to
Please
smash
come
a chair
on.
on your
Come on.
face.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I would take it with a
One more
smile.
question in before we get Damon up here.
Yeah.
So I'll go with
Jake-
Damon because I went to dinner with Rollerball and I went to dinner with Dogger.
Listen, I freaked out when I saw him back there,
Right.
so it's all
it
good.
happens. We
It
understand.
happens. JT, who was your biggest inspiration growing up, and is he walking to the stage? I added the second part.
Good job, Clint. TBI and all.
Biggest inspiration was whoever let him ride the practice track. So Tortelli, Chad, or Timmy at different points.
That's fucked up. Bradshaw was my hero in '92, but before him was RJ. So it depends on when we're talking about. Inspiration.
Wow, Damon Bradshaw, everybody.
Grab a
There
mic
he
there in
is.
front of you.
I can remember being a kid though and watching, and I think it was Tampa, but I can't be sure. And Damon rode really well. He didn't win. He got second. And I was watching Larry Myers on the podium, and Larry Myers, he's doing his thing, whatever. Damon Bradshaw, great job. You got second, whatever. And Damon goes, second place sucks.
Welcome, Damon. Thanks for coming up. Thank you, everybody. What a legend, Damon Bradshaw. Amazing.
Was not planning on coming on stage at all.
No, I
No.
wasn't.
We didn't even
I'm
know.
only one drink.
This is my fault.
I don't even need a mic.
This is my
Yeah,
fault.
he's loud.
Just pull it off of
There you go.
There you go.
It don't work.
Is this one not even on?
Oh, it's on
Oh,
there.
that's
yeah.
all right.
go.
I'm only one drink deep, so I'm good.
Okay, you're all right.
Yeah, but Damon, you blew it, bro. In 1990, you probably don't
you're gonna
remember
start
this.
with that?
Dude, people
it's
are
all right,
upset
it's
still.
all right.
People are upset. In 1990, you had the effing lead in the effing race at that effing stadium, and you let the French guy beat you, and I'm sure you were not happy about it, but these New Jersey fans were not cool with French people coming in and winning
Her name
Supercross
is
races.
Michelle Weege.
Yes. Michelle's a girl's name.
He was talented. I mean, sometimes you got beat by him, and sometimes you didn't. I think if he was a little meaner, he would have been a lot more successful, but he just wasn't mean enough.
I've been physically beaten by women several times.
When you were off doing your monster truck thing that none of us liked, but I know you're making money and all that. I get it. But when you were off doing that, I actually got a podcast with Bale. I tracked him down through some mutual friends. He hadn't given an interview for a long time.
Yeah, I did hear that. I did.
Oh, you did hear that?
Well, I didn't hear the podcast.
Okay, you heard about it.
No.
So, his takeaways were, me and Jeff Stanton were friends, but rivals. I respected him. He respected me. We rode, we pushed each other to higher limits. Blah blah blah. I do not like Damon Bradshaw.
He did. He said that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, straight up.
He said
Well, I didn't like him either, so it was mutual.
he had good things to say about everybody but one man. It was you.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't think you really had that in you.
He did.
You know the most revelatory, I don't know if that's a word, thing I heard in that podcast was that, Stanton would be so mind-effed by Bale, just carving his name in the hills and whatever. But he said in that podcast that after Stanton would leave, he'd be like, yeah, we wait. And then Stanton would leave, and he would go do motos. He'd just go moto down.
I don't think you could win how he was doing without
No, but
putting
he
the
would
work in,
say it was a total mind game.
Right.
He's like, yeah, we just wait. I'll go over here in the hills. I'll do jumps. And then when Stanton leaves, then I'll go do my motos.
He wasn't actually not putting in the work.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think he had to. I mean, the guy had talent. Obviously, we knew that. But I just think he was one of those guys that if it was there, he was going to take it and run away. But if he had to fight for it, he really wasn't going to do that. I mean, I think, we've seen that. But
we've seen that a few times. My favorite Bradshaw story, by far, I mean, there's a million of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got one, right? Mm-hmm. My favorite Bradshaw story, and this is backed up by numerous people. It really happened. It wasn't one of those myths or anything else. You and Chicken got together, of course. Shocking. I don't know what race it was. You were fined $500, I believe? Or was it?
Yeah,
okay.
it was somewhere. It couldn't have been very much because I know I only made double that day on the purse money, and I had one.
So you
$1,000 to win.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
You went to your payout to get the money, and they said, hey, Damon, we're holding back $500 for your incident with Chicken. You took him out, and we're fining you $500. And you slid the money back and said, I'm taking that son of a bitch out again, so keep the money.
Keep it. I did.
I mean, that is a true story.
I did. It went very similar, and I don't know, there's probably some people here that know Roy Jansen, but obviously, and he when he did that, I said, you should probably keep it because I'm sure it's going to happen again next week, so here.
Here you go.
And Roy was that guy that could be, he could
go from 0 to 100.
Unbelievably angry. Right. Unbelievably angry.
The military would come back in him and he would get mad. And I could see that walk from a long ways away when he was coming to the truck. I don't know why, but you could pick it out. I knew. I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. But we've become really good friends and have a lot of mutual respect. But in that time, it was like,
I love that story. I just love it.
Yep.
Keep it.
Yeah. Keep it, because I'm going to take his ass out again
Right.
next week.
He was pissed, but he likes to tell the story too. So
Right. Yeah, it's another story I heard. I was testing with Yamaha when I worked at Yamaha, and we went to Hangtown for a test. Riding at Hangtown a couple weeks before the first national, and Bob Oliver was there, and I probably asked him about you because I did that a lot. And he was like, yeah, one time we came here and the track owner came up and was like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're here. Damon Bradshaw, Dubach, Emig, whoever was there. You're all testing here. What can I do to make this thing better? I want to make this track better. And you said, put a close sign on it.
I did.
And the guy's jaw.
Yeah.
Bob said the guy's jaw was just like, put a close sign on it.
I did. I said, and let us all go home. It would be really. Well, it was actually press day. We weren't there testing, so it was press day. So all the other teams are there, but he was going around. I mean, it was kind of a prick thing, but it was the truth because that was back when Hangtown was like this floor.
Yeah.
The wind was blowing 100 miles an hour. It was dusty.
I was a mechanic then. It was not good.
Well, and I'm sure he was motivated by that statement. But Ricky Carmichael at Unadilla in whatever year it was,
06, I think.
Press conference. They said, what can we do to improve the track? And he said, walk the gate.
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
So it's been done. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's been done.
And I understand, too, that he uses the huckabuck thing a fair amount.
Oh, yeah.
I don't watch, because, I mean, I'm at the event, so I don't watch it on TV. But
Rick?
John R., as you well know, our suspension guy for a lot of time, you would have terminology that you could tell the guys on the team, and they knew what you meant. I mean, if I told a suspension guy my bike was huckabucking and it sucked in the whoops, they would know what I was talking about. But John R. did. Right. And so now I hear, Ricky,
it's huckabuck.
It's kind of funny. But
gotten out.
Clint, where are you at? Let's go some audience questions if we can for Damon Bradshaw or for.
Is Bradshaw in now?
Yeah, Bradshaw's in, and we're going to bring.
Bradshaw's just in.
Do some audience questions, and we'll bring Bear Dog
Bradshaw's just part of it.
Anybody's got an audience question for any one of us? Put your hand up. Clint will run over. We got somebody in the upper deck. We got some in the back.
Oh, we're really making. Wait a minute. We have a question from that guy.
In front of your face. You can't leave till I leave.
Barry's not allowed to ask questions.
He's got a Suzuki shirt on.
Weech. I love it.
I'm sure it was free.
All right.
Barry Carsten with a question.
Hello. I was at that race. Bale did let Damon by.
Which one?
At
one these guys are talking
LA
about?
Coliseum for the
92?
championship.
That one.
He didn't let me by. He was behind me.
He followed you, right?
He was behind me, and I felt
He waited the whole race.
I was watching this race at home, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 6 months later, whenever it came on TV.
That's the reason when you said
And
that,
I'm like,
it kind of threw me off because I
does
think he was the only one on the track that
Yeah,
wanted
I'm
me
like,
to
does
win.
he know where the track goes? Like,
Yeah.
it's like he's following Damon around to figure
Yeah.
out which way it goes.
I was riding horrible, and
He really wanted you to win.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to see Stanton win, I'm sure.
Right,
His
right.
teammate.
He
Yeah,
liked-
riding horribly
he
in
liked Damon
fifth.
like we like Damon. He wanted you to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I do not like Damon.
Oh, no, you're talking about the one where I crashed into him and moved him out of the way, or the championship year?
Championship year, yeah.
championship year,
Yes,
okay.
2 years earlier, he passed you. You did what you do. You
Top
came
of
back
the-
at him,
At the peristyle.
and he
Top of
was
the
not
peristyle.
happy.
No.
He didn't like riding that way. Is that something you actually squared up when you had to battle him, and you thought, if I do this is not his comfort zone if I hit him?
Oh, I knew for sure.
Yeah.
It was a mind game, but then again, it was I didn't want to leave anything on the table.
But
so-
it's a bit like Marvin now. Would you argue that these guys, and I know you've even mentioned maybe in a podcast where an unnamed source said, hey, if we rough this guy up, if we rough Marvin up, he's going to move the other way.
I don't think it's an unnamed source. I think you saw what Cooper Webb did. This was in Houston, where it's a Triple Crown race.
Yeah.
Marvin basically did nothing except try to pass him. It wasn't dirty at all. But once that got Cooper Webb mad, and I feel like once you're playing that game, out of all those guys at that level, Cooper Webb is the only one that likes it. I don't think Roxon likes riding that way. Marvin,
But maybe it was
Tomac.
Steve.
Damon liked it.
Maybe it was Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, was it you? Someone said, I talked to a rider, unnamed rider, and they said,
Yeah.
hey, if we get aggressive with Marv, he's going to fold. He doesn't want any
Oh, really?
part of aggressive
Maybe
riding.
that was me. I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Maybe,
well,
maybe it's
You
Tim
know,
Perry.
you do see, though, it seems like somebody, like in the beginning of the race, he starts off, but once somebody rubs him, it's like it does click him into the next gear, but
Right.
it takes a little bit. Not that he rides aggressive, but it's like he's riding, but not riding well, and then once he's rubbed, then he goes to the next level, I
Right.
think, and rides. I mean, I've seen it a few times.
Any more audience questions? We got, where's Clint at? Oh, there we go.
oh, here we go. Hey.
If you're Adam Antignap, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, he is in the first place for the Yamaha LCQ Points Fund. It is over $30,000 now.
Jeez.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for that. I appreciate that. He's almost got it clinched. Like, if he doesn't make the main tomorrow, he can go for it in Vegas. Honestly, I think he's trying. I think he's going for it. We're losing.
That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. You count the positions. You make sure you're fifth or worse. Period in the LCQ.
You think?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
he's got him on his Pulp Fantasy team. Take him off. Take him off, JT said.
So you think Enignap is going to purposely not
I
make the
don't.
main last night?
I think he's going for it.
I would.
Okay. All right. His share should be what?
1,000,000%.
What's 80% of 30 grand? I don't even know, but that's
cares?
his share.
It's a lot more than
Right.
he's getting now.
Right. So, all right, next question.
Damon.
All over here.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
Damon, what was the best team you've ever raced for throughout your career?
Best team you were ever part of. What was the best team? You weren't on a ton of teams, so.
Hold on. I got to interrupt.
I was
Sorry.
on Team Yamaha.
I got to interrupt.
Yeah.
Damon has said many times, Doug Duboc was the only teammate he ever liked.
Did he say? He said teammate.
Team, yeah.
Team or teammate?
Well, team. But
Team.
whenever when Duboc was on, because
Well,
that was it.
I was only on 2 teams.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I was only on Hondas for 1 year. So, I mean, it was definitely Yamaha. I mean, it was a family, but it definitely changed over the years. And I had opportunity to go to Honda.
The one you liked was probably the one just where it was you and Duboc.
Yeah, I mean, Wyndham was fine, and obviously Doug
Wyndham was
Henry,
fine.
But even though those guys were pig pens, they were kind of messy and dirty.
Oh,
and left the shit laying all
okay.
over the truck.
Hey, no,
But,
that's no joke. Like, I share a room with Damon sometimes. I don't know where you're staying. Last night, I left a key for you at the front. That's a separate story altogether. Who knows? I could have lost him. But he is clean. Like, it's just seriously like there's a maid following him around.
Well, I was talking to a couple guys. So the Yamaha truck driver that came on when we first got semis, he was probably 21 years old. Now he drives for
Geico?
KTM. Well, he drives for KTM
Pat
now.
Mears.
Pat, yeah.
Pat, yeah.
So Pat came on.
There we go.
He came on, and And I'm like, he's never going to last 2 weeks. He's still there today. He was working for KTM.
Okay.
But he would come up in the truck, and we've cleaned up our lockers. And this was when Wyndham, Doug Henry, John Dowd. John Dowd wasn't as bad as Henry and Wyndham, but all their shit would be laying everywhere, boots, helmets, and whatever. And he's like shaking his head. All my stuff would be in my locker. And I'm like, throw it all in the trash. And next week, they'll eventually learn. He's like, really? And he's new. You know, I'm like, yeah, throw it all in the trash. So he took their boots and basically just boots and old jerseys and threw them in the trash. So next week they're looking for them, and I'm like, man, you guys got to clean your shit up. So they did get a little bit better,
They figured it out.
I think that was just dumb.
Hey, seriously, I've never told this story before, but it just reminds me. And there are a million Geraldo Faraci stories, and he's a New England guy who lives in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. But he's old school mafia, and he owned Fast by Faraci. They won a million, road races for Ducati. Came into motocross. That's who we raced for, Lamson and I, late 90s, early 2000s. So the first weekend we raced for him, it was just Lamson and I. We're the only ones who are like, yeah, screw it. I rode my bike 14 minutes before Vegas Monster Cup. It was U.S. Open back then. I'm like, yeah, screw it, I'll race. So we're driving over from Southern California to Vegas, and I have my gear, and I just kind of have it all together in the lounge, and it wasn't clean, not up to Damon Bradshaw standards by any means. Well, we get to Vegas, and he goes in the semi, and he sees it all. He's like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, well, that's my gear that I'm going to use for tomorrow. He's like, you could tell he was very unhappy with just the collection of mess that I'd left. He says, 30 years ago, you'd die. You die.
You would die.
You die.
You would die.
But not Lance Lamson.
No,
Lance Lamson.
Lance was family.
Any other
He's a
questions
made
up
man.
there? We got up there.
All right, Steve.
Yeah.
AC supposedly moving to 450s next year.
Highly denying it, by the way.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Well, he was asked in the press conference.
Okay.
A totally legit question.
Oh,
We
yeah?
heard you sign a 450 deal. He denied it. Cowie was very mad that someone even asked the question.
That's ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous.
But
It's a totally
you think
legit
it's
question.
done? I don't.
Anyway.
Is it done?
Yeah, I don't
Continue.
If the question was signed, I do not think it's signed, but yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
that would supposedly bump out Savachi, and rumors have it that Savachi would go to Honda.
Right.
Where would that land Cole Seeley?
Good question. JGR, maybe. Maybe Mike Genova's.
I think
Bullfrog
Moto
squad?
Concepts will have a 9-rider team the way things are
I know,
going.
right.
Yes. Every rider will just go over there.
We'll just go over there.
Yeah.
So, I think AC moves up. He was asking me a month ago, what do you think I should do? Which
He asked you for advice.
Yeah, but of course he doesn't give a shit what I think.
I hope not.
But he was asking me, and
That's a great conversation starter, though. What would you do?
I was kind of running him through some scenarios. I'm like, do you care if you don't win a 250 national title to move up? No. Do you care if you win a 250 Supercross title? No. He's like, it's time. I got to go. I need to go. And I'm like, yeah, you do. I mean, you're 6'4". You got to go. So it led me to believe that he was looking to go. Yeah, I absolutely think that. Now, people have talked about Honda and everything else. I don't see it. Cowie will have a right to first refusal. They've led this kid on since he's been.
Well, Bruce loves him too.
Yeah,
that's
like, I don't
one of the
see
biggest
any
factors.
way he
You think Monster or Bruce is like, yeah, we're not saying.
Right. So I don't see a Honda
marketing
thing. I see a
home
Cowie
run.
450 ride for him, and I think it's next year.
You and I both own stock in Monster.
Yes, we do.
Is there a chance it will go down because Monster just has to deliver like a Brinks truck full of money
No,
to keep
no,
AC
we're good.
and then
We're
it
good.
hurts our
Sugar
funds?
water is fine. It is
Sugar
taken
water's
off.
fine.
It
Okay,
is-
all
it is
right.
Can we talk about this whole Monster thing? Like, are we going to get in trouble by the SEC? Anybody here work for the SEC? No? Perfect.
okay.
FCC?
You guys are just all in on Monster because of one Russia announcement?
I don't know. We got tips. We got hot tips.
I was told by one of the greatest financial minds, one of the most trustworthy people you could ever go through to buy this stock. It was Jason Lawrence's agent.
Well, there we go.
And I did not take that advice.
Right.
And that's probably cost me about $500,000.
Yeah, Damon, you probably heard the same thing back in the day. Buy the Hanson stock.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Well, Stu.
I'm glad you're repping the hat, but if you had bought the stock in 2004, you probably wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Well, Stu, if anybody's listened to the Bruce Sternstrom podcast, that was a great one that you did with
Did
Bruce.
he say that publicly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It would have been worth $50 million.
Whatever it was, yeah. Stu,
Yeah.
when they signed,
80 million.
when
Stu could've made,
when
yes.
Stu was Red Bull guy, he was at Monster Cowie. They went to Monster for that 1 year. They said, "Look, buy this Monster stock, we'll give it to you." Or
No,
something.
yeah, we'll give it to you to compensate you for your Red Bull deal.
And he, nope, not interested. And now it would have been $80 million
dollars.
or whatever it was. So
That was back then. It'd probably be 180 now.
Any other questions from anybody? We got
Hey, Steve, you guys are very vocal when it comes to guys like Kawasaki and the AC question. Guys
Steve's
saying,
very vocal.
hey, don't ask that question. Or like when it comes to Stu and his secrecy. But don't you think that maybe some of these guys with this secrecy makes them a bigger like entity, a bigger image for being secret? For being
I don't know where this is going.
Horrible question. Stupid idea. I'm going to completely crush Travis Stewart here. Horrible. That was terrible.
Secrecy.
No.
Does it create more interest?
No. Let's just shut Travis Stewart down now. Look.
I don't.
Shutting him down. Shutting him down. Here's why.
Okay.
Joey Savacci. Hated. Just straight up hated. People have come from the Trolls Experience. People have come. Unbelievable. We'll be right back to you, Travis Stewart. The Trolls Experience with Troll Train Alex Martin in New York is apparently over.
That's an unbelievable get-up.
It is incredible,
that's
Nash.
fantastic.
We'll be back. So, Joey Savacci, hated. 0 fans. People did not like Joey Savacci. They didn't like how he got punked by Osborne and didn't say anything about it. They didn't like how he'd crash in races and not say anything about it. He pulled over for Eli Tomac at Monster Energy Cup, didn't say anything about it. Not cool. People didn't like him. There are not Joey Savacci fans. Then 2 weeks ago, I call him for an hour on the phone for a podcast, and he just explains honestly what he felt about all those things. And now everybody on his Instagram's like, dude, you're cool, you're awesome, I love you. All he did was just tell the truth.
Right.
He said nothing for 2 years. Everyone hated him. He told the truth for 1 hour. Everyone loves him.
He never stopped talking on that podcast.
No, because he had to let 2 years worth of emotion out. I have yet to see a situation where an athlete is super honest, and then people hate the person for it.
Well, ask Damon. I mean, you were pretty honest in all your interviews, and people loved you.
Yeah.
You were honest.
Yeah,
you told the truth.
That was just me.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it probably wasn't the best thing to say, but
right.
He's throwing rocks at MXA photographers.
Right.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I'm just livening up the show by picking on you. Okay.
Where's Clint at? Where's Clint at? Hey, let's talk to Jason's mom there, right behind you, to the right.
Yeah,
Jason
right there.
Weigandt's
She's
mom.
clueless. Right there.
Right there.
Right in front of you.
Right
there
there.
she is.
You're on.
Jason Weigandt's
That's
mom.
Ouija's mom.
What? So, Ouija's mom, we have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you ready? You can hear us?
You have a question for me?
Oh,
Question for you.
Is the mic on?
You have a microphone.
Yeah, I think so.
She can hear you.
All right.
She's questioning the microphone.
So, did Jason Weigandt ever flag at Englishtown?
Did he ever have what?
Did he ever flag at Englishtown?
Absolutely.
Hold on. You can't trust a mom. If somebody asked my mom, hey, did JT ever go to the moon? She'd be like, absolutely, he did. Sure did.
Almost always managed to beat motocross. When he worked at Six Flags, and he was the backstage.
No, Flagger, not Six Flags. Flagger. Flagger.
Oh, the Batman stunt show.
That is true. It's a true story.
Right.
You folks all know Six Flags Great Adventure down the road? Yeah, well, for a couple years they had the Batman stunt show where they needed people to do wheelies and jumps on DR350s with giant Batman fairings on it.
Yep.
And I was working there backstage, like I set up the lights and the fireworks, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know these dudes. They were like all of Englishtown's like fast dudes. Legendary Jerry Sipe, who I'm sure Barry Carsten remembers. During the week, these dudes performed as Batman and Joker henchmen on dirt bikes to pay for their racing on the weekends. So yes, I always found a way to tie in motocross.
Did you work at Disney and Six Flags?
Oh yeah, man.
Wow.
Also Seaside Heights, yes.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Weigandt. You and your ex-husband never went to see him flag.
No, right.
It's not like a memorable experience.
So
it's not like
you never saw him flag. He was going to Englishtown, but
this is not like an event. Like we're not like.
That's right. He could have been
everybody
lying,
get the family
right?
together.
You just broke her down.
Jason's flagging today.
You just broke her down.
She
just said he could have been lying.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Weigandt. We're still working on this. We're trying to get some proof.
Unreal.
Weigandt trying to be cool. Tell everybody he flagged.
Yes, that's how you win friends. You tell them you're flagger at a local motocross track, and they think you're awesome. Yeah.
All right, anybody else? We'll wrap this thing up for the questions, audience questions.
Hey, Mom, one more for you. I'm going to go to my super fan next.
Okay.
Are you cheap?
Absolutely.
All right.
I made sure I didn't have to pay for tonight.
Ouija, what the hell is that?
Apparently I've been given a gift. Hang on here.
All right. Okay, next question. Here we go.
I have a question for each of you guys.
All right.
Steve, you ready?
Yep.
I remember at the beginning of the season, you have Eli as your monster guy.
Yep.
As of right now, who you think is your monster?
Like to scare me or to be the
To win this thing.
Yeah, Cooper Webb, bro.
Remember when you
I've
crush,
been on
crush
Cooper
a monster
Webb's
and threw it on the
program.
ground? You crushed a can.
When Coop, oh yeah,
You crushed a can
I
and threw it on
crushed
the
a
ground.
can.
Yeah.
When Coop passed Roxon in the last turn at Dallas, that was it for me.
Yeah.
That was a championship
Right.
ride. I really thought that. So
Yeah, me too. All right.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Bandwagon.
Jason,
Yes, sir.
by how many points you think Coop will win this title?
He's up 18 now.
Yeah.
He's going to extend it.
Oh.
It's going to be a larger than 18-point lead. Wow, I'm really interested in this.
Wow.
This is not a Cooper Webb room.
I mean-
I'm really interested as to why that is.
I mean, he's pretty much like Bradshaw. He doesn't give any shits. He just.
Yeah, so North Carolina.
Right, it's
What's
fantastic.
wrong with Webb?
Wow.
Interesting.
Extend it.
All
I
right,
didn't see
next
that
question.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, JT. What
He wrote
percentage
notes.
you think Justin Cooper have to win this title?
Oh. You better say 100, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're
I'm
gonna
going to say 15.
Whoa.
15?
15%.
15%.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right.
That was almost as bad as
Great
saying Cooper will
rider.
win.
He's a great rider. He's behind two people in points, and I think Sexton's a little better than him, and we don't know with Faulkner yet.
JT, you're not getting out of here alive.
Yep.
Patterson's
Yep,
going to live
good
up
luck.
to its rep.
Have you seen the labyrinth downstairs? I'll take my chances.
Well,
You're talking shit on the guy from Long Island. How dare you?
I could hide downstairs for at least the next
All right, well,
16 years.
apparently, courtesy of our friends at Englishtown, New Jersey's Raceway Park.
Oh, snap.
Look at this, baby!
Oh, yes. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
There's dirt on it.
I mean, that might have flagged Barry.
Barry never crashed.
Okay, sorry.
Barry never crashed.
Sorry. Barry never crashed.
I need two hands on this.
That's.
This is actually how I would do it. I would do it this way. I would do it like that.
That's how you do it.
Two-hander, yeah, that's how I'd do it.
Please tell me you didn't do that.
All right.
You did that?
Two-hander was not good?
No.
Why not?
Because I can't see that.
I'm protecting people.
That's bullshit.
I'm standing
That's
over
a
a
bullshit
PW50
move,
ride. Well, they
Leach.
didn't have PWs.
It's terrible.
65 class.
That's terrible form.
It even has dirt on it.
That
This
is
is
awesome.
awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you, Englishtown, for that.
I don't even know if it's really from Englishtown, but that's how I was told.
Damon,
So,
does it look like it's from Englishtown? I don't know.
I'd give the stick to JT so maybe you can get out of here with it.
Wave
yeah,
the
you might
damn,
need it.
Wave the damn flag.
Did you ever race at Englishtown, New Jersey? I don't think you would have. No.
Well,
too far.
Hey, let's bring our next guest up. Damon, thank you for coming up. Damon
Thank you,
Bradshaw,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
We're going to bring our next guest up here. This man. Couple things about this man. One, how much money has he made from Suzuki Contingency over the years?
Oh, my gosh.
And
Yeah.
what does his garage look like for RM parts? Everybody, Barry Carsten is here.
Yeah, look at that.
New Jersey legend. Thank you for coming, Bear Dog.
It's got to be a pretty good race on that Zuki money between him and Jim Chester.
Oh,
It's got to be.
Jim Chester versus, I don't know.
Fantastic.
Jim is solid, Jim Chester's solid, but Barry.
And Barry, the company man with the Suzuki shirt, RM Army.
He comes in hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Barry,
strong.
thanks for coming, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How much money have you won from Suzuki Tennessee?
Not enough, but
You're still trying to earn some this weekend, right?
yeah.
You're going racing?
We just go to Suzuki races.
We're going into spring right now. It's go time.
And it's it's go time. We schedule our whole thing out, and I just go to different events that have Suzuki Contingency.
You know what I like? You know how, like, in olden times, like, people would have children just to be able to have more labor on their farm?
Mm-hmm.
Barry had a son just so he could have double Suzuki Contingency on race weekends. Good job, Corey.
Remarkable, though, Barry, your career over the years. You switched to Suzuki in, I think, 87, 88?
Yeah, I left Yamaha in 87, and I started 88.
Big mistake, Yamaha.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
They dropped their Contingency.
Nice work, Blue Crew.
They probably had to pay Bradshaw. That was the problem.
How many, if I needed a rear axle for a 96 RM, do you have one in your garage?
No, I do not have a lot of parts.
Why not?
I'm not going to give you an
How have you
axle.
not saved everything?
I use them, and then I throw them away.
He's got 14 96 RMs
Nope, I
in his
don't.
garage.
How many bikes
He's
do
an
you have?
axle for all of them.
I got 7 bikes right now between me and my son.
Okay,
and,
but you don't have any
they're
of the
all
old
fairly new. No, I hate old stuff.
Really?
I hate it.
Wait,
Wow.
so do you throw parts away?
No, he sells them.
Well,
He's
it's
got
pretty,
about.
It's pretty worn out when I get
Oh,
going.
okay.
His eBay account has $3.8 million inside.
Easy.
I know. I got very upset.
Barry, you've had a great career. One of the things that we love joking about is in 1990, you led the East Coast points after a combined East-West shootout. Weege loves to bring that up.
1 week.
Bear Dog was a series points leader, everybody.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
But do you look back at your career and God, how many top tens does Barry have?
I don't know, 300?
I mean, seriously. Do you look back and you're pretty impressed? You're pretty amazing?
I don't remember them.
Really?
I raced every weekend. It's just, it's another race. We go to Loretta's. It's just another race.
Yeah.
Actually, I put new tires on my bike that weekend.
Oh, okay. Really stepping up.
Yeah, my kid, puts new graphics on my bike now and stuff. But it's just another race every weekend. And, I enjoy racing.
So I only have two Barry Carsten stories. I race Barry a lot.
Right.
Okay.
A lot of people race Barry a lot.
Right.
The first one, Troy, Ohio. And if you've never been to Troy, Ohio, which most of you probably haven't, it's really hot, which Barry can attest to. It was always crazy hot. It was always in July. And it was my first race back. I dislocated my wrist, came back, and it wasn't very good, but, it was at the very end of Barry's career, too.
There was no end of Barry's career. It is
right. It's still going.
So he's racing on
no
Sunday.
end.
Yes.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
But Barry was an older gentleman,
Yes.
as we would say. And I look back, and it's the last lap. I'm like, Barry's coming. All right, I just gotta pull this together and just stay to the inside.
hot.
Go to the inside every turn. Barry won't get you. Okay. So, long story short, Barry passes me in the last corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had gone past the mechanics area, which was my dad at the time, and I was ahead of Barry. And when I got back to the trailer, and my mom brings the results over, and it shows that Barry's ahead of me, my dad's, well, that's not right. You were ahead of Barry. And I'm like, shit, this isn't going to go well. No, problem. You were ahead of Barry. And I'm like, no, he got me. Barry got me. Around the outside of the last corner. Yeah. That didn't go well. Second story, this is, it's actually might have been before, but either way. We're at Mini Olympics. And no, Winter Am. And so Winter Am's series in Florida, and for pro guys like Barry and I, we'd race 2 classes, which means 4 pro motos a day. So you're doing 4 30+2s a day. It was hell on earth for us, right? Mm-hmm. Well, one of the motos, we're all waiting on, and they do staging order off the previous moto, and Barry had missed his staging order, and they're like, we're all waiting, like,
oh, Barry.
He was probably at another race, like another side of the country, getting contingency the night before.
No, this is like the 3rd moto or 4th moto of the day, and like, number 31, I'm like, where the hell is Carsten at? Everybody's looking at each other like, let's go, where the hell is Carsten at? He comes up doing like 100 miles an hour. He's like, sorry, everybody, I was watching Scooby-Doo. Yep. Watching Scooby-Doo with your son that's probably in the building.
That's what happens.
Yeah, and we're all just like dying. We're tired as hell. He's like, everybody ready? I was watching Scooby-Doo.
Barry probably was watching Scooby-Doo when it was like in '91 when he was top 10ing 125 Supercrosses.
Apparently.
Barry, Weigandt, you have a theory. We're in New Jersey. New Jersey's own finest, New Jersey's finest, Barry Carsten. You have a theory on the other New Jersey racer.
Hold on. I don't know where he falls into this, but I have this theory.
Okay.
So in the broader scheme, New Jersey is known in the entertainment world for 2 things. Bruce Springsteen, and then later on, the band Bon Jovi or John Bon Jovi.
Right.
But what I know of New Jersey is there is no one that's a fan of both. You're a Springsteen fan or a Bon Jovi fan. What you don't often see is John Bon Jovi joining Bruce Springsteen on stage or Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi getting together. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And by the way, in similar fashion, I know Bradshaw saw John Dowd and Doug Henry as teammates, and I think they're buddies now.
Yep.
But New England people are kind of either Henry people or Dowd people. That's the way it works when there's 2 people at the top.
Yeah.
You're either a Springsteen person or a Jovi person. Or in New Jersey motocross, you're either a Carsten person or a Kessler person.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Every time I pump up Barry, a couple of the Kessler people say, but Mickey.
They come back at
you. Pump up Mickey.
You're drawing hard lines.
But Barry.
You're drawing hard lines.
Yes, you're drawing hard lines. Are you a Springsteener? Are you a Bon Jovi person? Are you a Kessler person? Or are you a Barry person? Did you and Mickey ever really battle, or did your eras overlap a little bit?
No, we never battled.
You never battled?
What?
He was just old enough?
No, Mickey was that fast, and then he kind of quit racing, and then that's when I took over and started winning a lot more.
Oh, okay. So
Mickey beat you early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the most irrational hype that's maybe ever been in this whole sport was when Dakota Kessler was racing, and Weege was like, "Oh, Dakota Kessler, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. He's good every weekend. He's Dakota Kessler.
You were very
Dakota
excited
Kessler.
for it. You were very
yeah.
excited.
And we're like, Weege, he was like 34th in times. Like, he's not gonna be like.
Look,
no,
man, the only
he's
reason they have a 65 class in New Jersey is so Dakota could get started early. And when I was a flagger, we had a jump called the Dakota Canyon, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool
when
name.
Mom and Dad never went and saw you.
They did not. No, they were not proud of their son being a flagger, apparently. My dad didn't even come tonight. He didn't even come to this.
Good point.
Probably cost him a lot in gas money. So, did you and Mickey, did you ever hang out? Did you ever know each other? Is there any connection between you two?
Yeah, Mickey done my suspension my whole life.
Oh! There's a truce between the two of you.
Yeah,
You're really hurting our rivalry theory here, Barry. You're really shooting it down.
No, there was never a rivalry. Back then it was 3 classes, 125, 250, and 500. At that time, he kind of just started riding the 500, 250. He only rode once in a while.
He was freaking fast, though, still, okay?
Yeah.
He's freaking fast.
What about J-Law and you? Any interaction? Jersey Zone.
Yeah, he went to the races with us a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, teamed up to go to some RM Cups down in Tennessee.
Really?
You and J-Law was in your motorhome.
Yeah.
Barry bailed him out one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. How bad did it get?
No, he was still with his grandfather.
Okay.
And he was still a decent kid. He had issues, but when he got his ride and he disowned his grandfather, that's when his problems started.
Any truth? Now Suzuki's gone through some downturns. We know that they're trying to work things up. Any truth, Barry, that you actually own 18% of Suzuki? Is there any truth to that? That they actually, instead of paying you out, they gave you shares?
I got 14% of
Okay,
stock.
fantastic.
I've been to the Japanese Suzuki factory. There's a statue of Barry.
Yeah.
Front.
Yep.
DG, MSR.
Arai helmet.
Arai helmet.
Yeah, and stock pipes.
Yeah, and stock pipes.
Stock pipes.
Yeah, that was always Pingree thing is like,
right.
There's no freaking way. He's got a stock pipe on his bike.
Well, I rode for DG Pipes, but they didn't even make a pipe for my bike. So what do you do? They made steers, they made handlebars. So I used
are
those.
you aware, Barry, of what's been going on in 250 Supercross career starts here? Have you any idea what's going on lately?
I did a lot of them, and I think there's another rider coming close.
There is someone trying to threaten.
So you have the career starts record for 125/250 Supercross at 118.
Most 125/250F Supercross starts of all time.
I just said
right
that.
here.
I just said that.
I just want to make it perfectly clear.
So
I'm a professional
most
announcer.
starts ever.
Ah, look at that! Yeah.
There's a certain rider.
See the reaction I got?
There's a certain rider from a certain country that is getting close. And tomorrow...
Hey, Mark?
No. Tomorrow he starts his 100th. He's 18 back, and that's Marty Davalos.
That's 2 seasons away. And with Marty,
Barry,
2 seasons could happen.
Your record, Barry.
Hey, let's be honest. Barry looks like he's in shape. Like he could, if he needs to up the number.
Yes,
ready.
could you?
Will you come back, Barry?
If you need to get it to 119, can you do it?
If I need to.
Suck it, Marty. Barry is coming back.
These colors don't run.
I have heard kind of unofficially that the way the Supercross schedule is now going to work is that they're going to race here and Foxborough every other year.
Okay, yeah.
So, sorry, probably won't be back here next year, but then the next year we will be back. If Marty kept racing, it would be right around that time in the 2021 season in New Jersey that he would be trying to take Barry's record away from him. Could you in 2 years line up for this race and bump that number up?
No.
Come on, Barry. We saw you at Daytona. You're doing the Ricky Carmichael Daytona amateur race. What's the difference?
They tame the track way down.
Okay.
Those guys make it look easy, and I'm trying to tell my kid that.
So if Marty passes you, will you come down and sort of pass the baton to Marty? Like, there goes my hero.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Barry, you hand it off, Barry.
Maybe a starting gate. all-time starts.
Right.
There's a golden starting gate,
Right.
Marty Davalos.
118, Barry.
And by the way, out of the 118, how many were you also probably racing the 250 class that night? Because you did that, right? Like JT?
Yeah, for a few years. We
Yeah.
did them both.
Yep. JT, you've been there, done that?
A couple.
We did it for money, right?
Yeah, just a couple. Did you? But JT would pull the start and park in one of the classes.
I enjoyed riding, so I rode them both.
Well, it was all about the money, right?
Yeah.
At those times, I can't even tell you the amount of times that the last words I would hear before my dad walked away from the gate was, "Think about the money." I'd be like,
"We need gas money. We gotta get home."
I'm like shifting my bike into gear for the gate. Think about the money.
I mean, you would come off, Barry, from the checkers, 125 checkers, and basically ride up, lean your bike against the wall, and go to the line, right?
Go to the line with your other bike. They would actually ask you if you want to do a parade lap. No.
No, you're good?
You're like, I got the track down.
Seriously, though, the
I'm
first lap was sketchy.
Yeah,
like
'cause
switching bikes,
right,
you're looping out, and you're just like, it's
Barry's nodding.
never
Yep,
good.
yep.
Yeah, switching from 125 to 250 the first lap, you're like hitting the triple, you land 15 feet past the landing, you're like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Barry, couple of things before we let you go here. Favorite RM ever? Your favorite RM ever?
It's got like 35 years to
I know,
choose from.
but
Yeah. From 87 through 2019. 88 was first year? Okay.
Yeah.
Probably 90.
90.
Yeah,
Leading the points.
Leading the points.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was just an all-around good bike. It was fast. It handled. The biggest thing is handle, you know.
95, 125, I've heard good things about, though.
Yeah.
95. Timmy was always talking about 95, 125.
Yeah.
Timmy was on a different bike than I was.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably,
factory
did you ride for RRP Jersey? RRP or no?
No.
Okay.
Bromley all the way.
He sponsored all my competition locally.
Oh.
Big rift.
Yeah, you were
Big
Bromley.
rift.
You were Bromley. That was it. It was Bloods,
Well,
Crips.
Bromley's a dealership.
Right.
Yeah, just
so
a dealership.
It was Bloods, Crips, RRP, Bromley. That's how I imagine it.
Right.
Yeah. Favorite race ever, Barry? Is there one that stands out?
K-Rock every year is a really great race. Guys, Tomac, you've raced it, right?
I never raced
You never
K-Rock.
came.
No.
Really?
Did you ever beat the Factory Cowie guys, just straight up?
Yeah, I won a moto at K-Rock. Tim Ferry was there.
Listen, Barry, back it down, Barry.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out. It's been a great show.
But true, like I mean, Chicken or whoever 125 class, you.
No.
Stu?
No, they don't be Stu.
But we have some Stu connections here.
Stu never lost. Stu would go home mid-moto if he lost.
But you
the first
told me a
moto.
few years ago when we were hanging out down in Daytona,
Yes.
eating sub sandwiches, that you and James Stewart actually used to hang out and ride together.
Oh,
James lived right next to my father-in-law, and James.
Where?
If you ever seen in Haines City.
Your father-in-law lives in Haines City.
No, he lives in the next town
Okay.
down.
All right.
And Lake Wales. But James's place wasn't built yet. They were living on the land in a motorhome. And James didn't, he'd come home from school and just sat there. So a friend of mine was building James's house at the time. And we went over there, and James was like, wanted to go riding. And he didn't have it was just a, yard. So they had a track at their house, so I'd pick James up with Corey and Madison in the passenger seat, James Stewart, and drive.
4
to his
people
house.
across in a pickup?
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
this
No
is
seatbelt.
this Stu on an 80? Stu on a 60?
This is Stu off an 80, just going on big bikes.
On big bikes.
It's
Okay.
like the beginning of every country song. Everybody in the bench seat and
Yeah.
the pickup truck.
So we go about 15 minutes away to my other friend's house, and we go riding all day. And for me, people let me ride their track. We get down, we shovel the whoops back up, we fix the jumps, and James looks at me and goes, "Don't tell my dad." Tell him what? He goes, "Don't tell him I'm shoveling."
Really?
I don't want this to go any
He
further.
told me I'd never have to shovel.
Yeah. Not in the labor sense, but to fix the track up.
So
If we go that fast, you don't have to shovel.
No.
That's
yeah,
true.
you never have to shovel. So the scrub was something maybe that.
Did you show him that?
No. He had that. He watched,
Quads? Did you show him how to jump quads?
No, he knew
Not in Paris.
He watched a lot of videos. That's where he learned. He watched videos. It's all he did in his spare time is watch videos. And then when he got to ride, he
Barry, I watched a lot of videos. Yeah. That's not it.
Well, that was James Stewart. And I'll be honest, Barry, I thought he made the fucking story up with you and Stu. Right. I thought he made the whole thing up with you and Stu, but no.
Yeah, but that lasted about 2 weeks, and then I had to go back home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then I used to go down and ride at James's. He'd tell me come over whenever you want. And my son's like, go over there and ride, and
Wow. The career paths.
As far as I'm concerned, at least half of Stu's wins are owed
to Barry. Right.
Taking him riding.
I'd agree with that. Anybody else agree with that? Anybody else agree?
Yes.
Half of Stu's wins go to Barry.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Davey Coombs is here. He knows people at the AMA. We'll try to change that record book. We'll just get it changed.
We'll give them to you.
Yeah, we'll just give them to you.
And if we need to give him Stu's starts to keep him ahead of Marty,
that's what we'll do.
That too. No problem.
Yeah, no problem. We'll have Cindy do it.
Right.
The best part about that story is James goes, man, you're pretty fast.
Yeah!
That was, right?
Yeah. So, he didn't say that to me ever.
And I told him, I said, the day you have to race me, you'll be on the bike. And he didn't understand what I said. And then 6 months later, we're at his first Supercross, and he goes to me, I got the bike.
So that's the difference between like his Team Green amateur bike and then being on like the real factory deal.
Yeah, he went to California, and he did testing, and he got the bike that he wanted.
There's not many people, though, that can say that James Stewart looked him in the eye and said, dude, you're pretty fast.
Yeah.
He did, though. He was,
who had more career numbers in the 30s? You or Barry?
Ooh. I don't know. Probably.
Barry probably doesn't remember.
Barry, sheer volume.
I only had a few 30s.
Barry had every number from 30 to 100.
Yeah. I was 31, 38, 34, and then a little above that.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm upset. Look, everybody blames everything on 4 strokes.
Right.
I know 4 strokes ruined everything. Look, and I'm not really on board with that except for one thing and one thing only. You had a national number for like 18 straight years. Right. And then your poor guy in 2006 or 2005, Suzuki didn't have a 4-stroke, and you had to ride a damn RM250 in the national. Carmichael had one. No one else had one.
It's amazing Suzuki didn't use their work
Burner didn't, though. Burner didn't.
So this poor guy had to ride an RM250 against all 450s. You missed a national number by, I think, 8 points. The next year, RMZ 450 comes out. He gets a national number again. Yeah. So he had like 18 out of 19 years.
He owns 14% of Suzuki. It's fine.
The stupid 4 strokes prevented him from having 19 straight years.
That's where you're coming
numbers. That's the only problem with 4 strokes.
16 in a row. National number, and I remember passing him that year and going,
yeah.
As I heard his 250,
were you on a 4-stroke?
Yeah.
Ah, exactly.
Everybody's on a 4-stroke.
And second of all, if they had red plates in 1990, you would have had one.
Barry would have had one. Barry would have had one.
Yes.
Barry, thank you for coming up here, man. Appreciate it. Barry Carsten, everybody. Yep. New Jersey legend.
Mm-hmm.
The leader in the 1990 Supercross series.
For 1 week. Thank you, Barry.
Hey. Bradshaw to Barry. Does it get any better?
No, I mean, beasts from the East.
Hey, seriously, this is serious. 98, 99. Timmy's 23 at this time. I'm like, 19, 20 years old.
And he's fast.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right.
Like he was.
Barry had him covered. I'm just saying, Barry had him covered.
That story was bullshit. I'm gonna check that out.
Like Timmy was real deal, 125 champ, moving into 250. Like he was real, factory rider for his whole life. And I was 19, 20, and neither of us had a lick of sense between the two of us. And I would give him shit every single day about 1992 Atlanta. Barry passed Timmy straight up at Atlanta Supercross for the last spot on the podium. Timmy got 4th, Barry got 3rd. And every single day, I would put it on when we'd come home from riding.
Barry.
We'd come home from riding.
Yeah, Barry.
Barry has passed everybody.
No, we had a VHS of it. And this is no bullshit. Every day we'd come home from riding, and we're tired and whatever. And we had like a window of like, get home from riding at 3. Okay, we're going running at 4. Okay, so in this next hour you can shower, you can do whatever you want to do in the next hour, but it's not going to be training. I would put this VHS in, and when he would walk out, it would be him, Barry passing Timmy for the last.
Yeah, Barry.
I think that's bullshit.
It's awesome.
Who was Timmy backed with? What team was he on back then?
In that year?
Yeah, or 92.
Nah, 92.
RRP.
Yeah, RRP.
Yeah, that was why. He had blood in his eyes.
And Bromley.
Bloods and Crips. Bromley had to beat RRP.
Hey, so you think we can bench race? Let's get the next guy up here.
We got a master of bench racing.
Bench race with the best
all
of
time.
us. We're going to ask him a bunch of questions about New Jersey, New York Arenacross back in the day.
Yeah.
Editor-in-chief of RacerX Online, RacerX Magazine, Davey Coombs, everybody. Let's get Davey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a motorcycle.
I think he just went to the bathroom. He just went down the hallway to the bathroom.
There
He went the wrong way.
There he comes.
He's going the wrong way.
We need a yellow flag?
Yeah.
We need a yellow flag to help
Caution
out?
flag. Welcome, Davey. Thank you for coming up here. Appreciate it.
Pull that
Absolutely. We each got a yellow flag, so we're going to maybe put that in the Racer X offices.
He's got a West by God of Virginia shirt on.
Yeah, representing.
First of all, hello, Brooklyn.
Oh, great.
God, Davey. That's tomorrow night. That's the next stop on the tour.
Okay, I actually started my night in Brooklyn. This was a $91.55 Uber ride to get here.
We'll take
Wow,
it.
that's love. That's love right there.
Paying for this.
Right. Yeah, Weigandt paying for it.
That's being docked from the salary, yes.
Right, absolutely. Take the mic if you want off.
When you said you were driving, Lincoln Tunnel? Or how? What were you doing?
You were in the Lincoln Tunnel.
When you said, I'm in the Lincoln Tunnel, I'm like, he's not coming back.
Yeah,
you did it.
We never actually made it to Brooklyn, but we're staying right down by Times Square. I have my son with me, my sister, my mom, my nephews, the whole Coombs family. But I'm confused. Like, I can understand following Damon Bradshaw.
Yeah.
But I've been following Barry Carsten for 40 fucking years.
Yeah, a lot of people have. We were talking.
Yeah, are you and Barry are somewhat contemporaries in a way? Have you
I'm
battled?
so much younger than him. It's
it's not even close. Not even close.
No, I think the first time I raced Barry was in Barry, you might know, 86 at the Albany Supercross, or maybe Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. And
wow.
I can tell you exactly what Barry looks like from the back. Never actually saw him with his helmet off until I met him.
Hey, we were talking backstage, Davey, about one of the things that when you talk about New York and New Jersey is you and your family used to promote the New Jersey Arenacross that were in the New York Arenacross.
Who was there?
Madison Square Garden.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
It was. Hey, wait, it was in Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
There was one in the Nassau Coliseum where
Timmy rode a Harley.
Timmy rode a Harley.
That's right.
So Jimmy McIlvaine probably was in the team fights and the fist fights and everything.
How do you rent
Madison Square Garden? Literally the world's most famous arena.
Right.
We were piggybacking on the back of monster truck shows, and a guy. This is pre-Feld, pre-Pace, pre-Clear Channel, pre-Live Nation.
Okay.
Right. All those.
And they would have these mud drags, mud bogs, and they would have an arena cross track around the outside. So it'd be Jimmy McIlvaine, Barry Carsten,
Kessler.
Mickey Kessler.
Oh, yeah.
Like young Mickey Kessler.
Right.
Like not the kid.
Stud.
Not Dakota.
Freaking stud.
The dad.
Okay. It's really good.
And we would we were in Worcester in Massachusetts. We did Nassau.
Philadelphia.
We did Madison Square Garden.
That's crazy. To rent Madison Square Garden, I don't care what year it is. That's a seems like a big
Have you
deal.
seen the Knicks play? They'll take anybody.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, we had to do like 11 shows.
Like where were the pits? Hey, you're on 42nd Street.
You unload your bike and you pushed it up and you went up through the tunnel and then it's on the 5th floor.
Right.
And then the cool thing is that they just wanted entertainment and we were just having fun. And so my dad came up with this idea and he's like, you know what? No one cares other than Jimmy McIlvaine might be from here, and Barry Carsten might be from there, and JoJo Keller might be from there.
This is where you break my heart, but go ahead and tell the story.
Let's just have team races. You 5 guys are from New York, and you 5 guys are from New Jersey, and go out and just act like you're blocking each other. Do roller derby, and in the end, whatever city we're in wins.
Now,
we're like, oh yeah, fair enough.
Weege, you were in the crowd for one of these.
Yeah, you effing bastards. So in 86, 87, I go to this arena cross, but I'm like 7 years old.
Right.
So I was confused by the fact that they had all these heat races and main events with 30 riders from all over the country. And then suddenly when the New York, New Jersey challenge happened, there were 15 guys from New Jersey and 15 guys from New York. And Mike Bias from Virginia suddenly was from New York. I don't know how that happened.
Right.
It didn't confuse me one bit.
And you're pulling for Jersey.
I'm pulling for Jersey. So inevitably, every year, every time, on the last lap, last turn, the guy from New Jersey would be in the lead. We always had it until the last turn, and then he'd get taken out by someone on the New York side, and then there'd be fistfights and rolling on the track, and every freaking year New York would win, and I believed it in my heart and soul. I'm like, next year, we were like the Chicago Cubs.
Right.
We're going to get them next year at Madison Square Garden. And then flash forward about 17 years
this is
later.
Lucy pulling the football away from you.
Yeah,
repeatedly. Right.
Charlie Brown.
Right.
The problem was New York had better flaggers.
And I also believe the guy was racing on a Harley Davidson and pretty fast, as a matter of fact.
My brother took a Honda CR250. He grinded the cases down. I know you remember this. I know Bear Dog remembers this. Grinded the cases down, and then he painted it black. And the problem was that Timmy didn't stop there. He got like into lifestyle, man. He put
This is some of the
chains
Tim
on.
Coombs that I know.
He was like, I know it's Hell's Angels on the West Coast, but I think it's pagans here. He was like into it, and we're like, and he found two girls like at the Penta Hotel across from the Gardens to walk in with him, and just like totally hookers. Yeah, and I'm like,
I believed it.
I'm in high school, and I'm like, this is going to end.
Your mom and dad
well,
are like, what are you doing?
No, it was perfect because when they knocked Timmy off his bike, these guys tried to come over the hockey walls, the glass walls, and it was like, okay, we've gone too far. And then a letter ended up.
Sounds like a great show.
Someone wrote a letter to Cycle News and said, "This is a travesty. The Coombs family is trying to destroy dirt bikes."
Actually, I've read that on some European websites as well.
Yeah. Gate Drop MX feels that way too. Yeah. When
this
19
sounds like
years
something I would
later-
buy a ticket for today.
Oh!
I would buy a ticket today.
A Harley.
Right.
I'm like, the guy in the Harley's in friggin' third place.
And then brawls and
Tim Cotter, who is Tim Cotter, runs Loretta Lynn's and runs. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Runs the GNCC and does all of our stuff. And Tim Cotter was the announcer. And he'd come out, and it was brilliant. It was time for the team race. He'd be like, "Does anybody here want a Honda to win?" You know.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
How about a Kawasaki? And then you go right down the line, Suzuki, Yamaha, and be like, "What about a Harley Davidson?"
This is brilliant.
It's a great idea.
Woo!
Yeah.
This is
And
brilliant.
Timmy would push his bike out with his two hookers from 34th Street, and it was like, we got to compete with that.
I remember
That's
him-
why Jersey never won.
I remember him doing the same thing at Arenacross and like pumping up rivals and all this stuff. And I was like, "Man, you're good." He's like, "That's the name of the game, brother."
That's Tim Cotter.
He gave
Arenacross.
Josh Demuth the nickname Sheriff.
Yep.
And I'm like, "Why do you call him the Sheriff?" And he's like, "Well, I can't call him Josh."
I believe this for my entire life until I'm like 25 years old. I'm in the kitchen in our old office with Davey's mom, Rita, one of my all-time favorite people on earth, and we're working together. I worked there a couple years. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Everything's rolling. And then I overhear her saying, "Yeah, she's on the phone with someone, and she's like, "Yeah, we used to do this thing where we faked that people were from New York and New Jersey, and we just made New York win every year." And I was like, "Wait, what? That was fake?
That was fake?
That was fake? That wasn't a real Harley?"
Hey, I just figured out how to write off that Uber ride.
All right, yes.
Good to hear. And thanks for dinner earlier this year in Toronto.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis?
We didn't go to Toronto.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Thanks to you and Chad Reed's appearance.
We still
that was
make
a big
joke-
write-off.
We still make a joke about it because Weigandt's trying to save the company money and doesn't get hotels sometimes on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
And says, I'm working hard. And we're like, well, Davey just bought 6 of us dinner at Ruth Chris, so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So good job, Weigandt. Way to save the money.
The best thing that came out of that dinner is that Chad Reed educated me on CBD oils, how that all works.
Oh, I like this.
Who here is right now lubricating? Well, CBD is
like
here
CBD.
for motocross. We're trying really hard to make it fit. The problem is a television signal does not stop at Utah or Arizona or states, Texas, where it's illegal. And NBC and other networks are trying to get their heads wrapped around this. But we realized that it was we could at least let the riders and teams have sponsors. You still can't have it on your helmet or your bike, but you can do it in your pits, and who cares? And CBD MD was so happy about it that they sent me a giant box of swag.
I saw that. Yeah.
I left this morning, so I imagine when I get back on Monday, everyone's going to be late.
Right. It's gone. Davey, one of the things I want to talk to you about is, so tomorrow's a day race, right? We've had, I don't know, half a dozen, 10 of these things.
Well,
not a full day race.
It's like a hybrid.
Where are we at? What do you think of these things?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
If you can make the live TV window, you
that's
do
what
what
you
you
do.
can.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people who come to New York as a visitor, I'm a visitor. My favorite city in the world is New York City. My favorite place in the world is here. I'm happy
Patterson, New
that
Jersey.
the race is over at 8 and I can go to the city and hang out. I wish the race in Vegas were at noon.
Let's wrap this thing up, everybody.
No one would be there.
Straight from the casino to the
No one
track.
would make it yet.
I mean, back in the day when Bailey and Damon and those guys are racing, they would have the Oklahoma City race in the afternoon. They'd have the San Jose race, whatnot. I should have included you, Jason. I'm sorry. Back in the day when Bailey and Bradshaw and Jason Thomas.
Oh, you're that old now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're that old
We
now.
got Barry Carsten here. You're going to drag me into this.
By the way, did you ask if anyone here had knowledge whether or not you actually flagged?
Yeah, even my mom couldn't come through on that.
No, we don't know. We don't
have a flag, though.
My mom backed down on the witness
Well, not
stand.
only have I seen, there's one.
We got some witnesses.
Chris Hunter's here, and
Chris
he
Hunter will
saw
back
you,
me up. Yes.
He saw you on the stair step jump at
Oh, yeah.
Down.
Yes, when you won 54 straight motos in the B class.
we
But I
just-
only paid attention because you're on a Manchester Honda with Axo gear, and I'm like, it looks like Bradshaw.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I cared about. Thanks, Chris.
He said you were looking at your phone.
Guys are getting hurt. Yeah, I wasn't paying any attention.
Yeah, and you were the guy, the flagger Weech, who had the results from 1/900 Pro Race, right?
Yeah, the only announcing experience I actually ever had was one time Rich Trevelise, who now operates Englishtown, back then he was the announcer, is like, if anyone knows who won the race last night, let us know. So I ran up to the announcer's tower and I'm like, I listened to it. I listened to Jim Holley on Supercross Live. Little did I know I was only 3 years away from actually working with Jim Holley on the show. And I'm like, here's the results from last night. Chad Reed won or something like that. And he's like, cool. And what do you do? I'm like, I'm one of the yellow flaggers. And his face just... all the respect, just dripped right out of it.
Oh,
but,
you're a
but let me
flagger.
tell you something. You think it was impressive that I listened to the race on the internet the night before and was flagging that morning? Barry raced in the race that Saturday night in Detroit and still raced in Englishtown Sunday
Drove
morning.
all night to ride it.
Yes,
to ride
I don't know
it
how
off,
you did
right.
that. Yeah.
Hey, something on RacerX Online this week, Davey. Most unlikely Supercross champs. Now, look, Webb's only 18 up. Anything can happen. We know that. If he wins this thing, if he pulls it off, I mean, I got to put him right up there with MC in 93. I got to put him up there with maybe Mike Bell in 81.
Stanton 89, bro.
Stanton 89.
Bell was 1980.
80.
Stanton 89.
McGrath won 9 races in 93.
Dude, he was going against Damon Bradshaw.
I'm with Steve there. You have to remember the context of what happened in 1993. Jean-Michel Bayle split. He bailed. Damon,
Literally. Damon made him bail.
Everyone's ready for Damon to have his vengeance. Stanton was at the peak of his game. No one saw Jeremy coming.
But would you say it's the same level of domination, though? Because to me, Webb's managed the series, but he hasn't been week in and week out Eli was better.
No. What happened in 93 was it didn't happen in a vacuum, but we didn't see it. The fact that Damon Bradshaw was a dominant 125 rider, everyone thought that it took, Jeremy McGrath was dominant as 125 rider. Everyone thought it'd take a few years because we just watched Damon go through this. We'd watched Eddie Warren disappear, Ron Tishner, Keith Turpin, Jeff Matasevich, Larry Ward. They never really ascended.
Brian Swink was in that same group too. Well,
but we didn't think so. But in 93, you have to remember the first 2 races, McGrath got 4th and 5th. And the guy who won the last race before Jeremy literally ascended was Damon at Houston. And no one saw it coming, that McGrath would do what McGrath did. That was as unlikely as it gets. But then after that, it was a fait accompli. We knew that Jeremy was going to win.
So if Webb brings this home, where does he rank to you on unlikely Supercross champions?
I think he's right on time to some degree.
Okay.
But I think the 2 lost years on Blue kind of throw this off. Because if you had asked me at Christmas, or if we'd asked one another, no one would have put him there.
No.
So it's completely unlikely, but not unlikely because of Cooper Webb, not because he snuck up on anyone, but because he didn't do so well.
We knew he had the talent and the ability. His paycheck at Yamaha was paid on, we expect you to do this well. It just didn't happen. You're right. It's not like he didn't have the talent, but it wasn't happening.
Yeah, let me flip it on you. What if Aaron Plessinger was up there right now and he was the one that was going to win? Would you think it was this unlikely?
Yeah, that would be very unlikely to me.
Yeah. But it's kind of the same thing. I think you have to take Cooper Webb's 2 years, on the first 2 years on a 450 and just kind of.
If this is 2017, I think you're absolutely on the McGrath pace. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. So that's what makes 93 McGrath so bizarre. But remember, it happened in a bit of a vacuum. Damon wasn't quite over what happened at the end of 92. Stanton overtrained himself. The 1-2 punch of Kudrowski and Larocco at Kawasaki, they were fighting each other. They weren't working with each other. So they kind of pushed themselves out. And the Suzuki rider at that point, man, I'm guessing it was Guy Cooper.
Well, the flip side is it was swing. So you see the fork in the road of how that can go.
Yes.
And Stanton would be up there too in 89. I mean,
but he was the Stanton. Okay, if you want to put it that way, Jeremy's gift was Jean-Michel Bale's departure. He just DGAF. Was done in 92, still won 4 races for the hell of it.
Right.
And then he was gone. And that kind of messed everyone up. The difference with what was the one you Stanton in 89 is that RJ was in complete control. RJ won the first 5 races,
Right.
Then they go to Atlanta. Guy Cooper should have won, crashes out. RJ crashes out, and so Jeff Stanton wins his first race. Jeff Stanton is the lieutenant in that deal. And then they go to Gatorback. And because there's no video, we'll never know whose side to believe.
Right.
Whether RJ landed on Danny Storbeck or Danny Storbeck landed on RJ, either way, that was the most expensive wrist injury in the history of wrist injuries. And Stanton was well placed. He was ready to take over. He did take over.
It's a little different from Coop. Coop didn't benefit from somebody like that was dominating and then get hurt. Coop just came out guns blazing this year, So it is a little different. You're right.
Yeah, but okay. Let me again put you on the spot.
Yeah.
So did you not think that Eli Tomac was the favorite?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we all had him win.
That was your pick.
Yeah, we all picked him.
Was that an unexpected detour?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's happening over there.
Absolutely.
Do you know?
It makes no sense.
You should talk to Williamson.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about it on Vital and you can get to the bottom of this.
Right.
Yes.
Davey, before we wrap this thing up here on the live show, motocross. Oh, you need a drink? No.
No, I have a drink. I was gonna call my Uber.
No, you stick around for the meet and greet.
It's gonna be very pricey.
No, I'm sticking around.
People really want to meet you.
I've got nowhere to go except my kids are wandering around Times Square by themselves.
Oh, I thought you were going to say wandering around Patterson.
They should be fine.
Sloan's 11, but that's cool.
Oh, yeah. That's no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
Movie star, 11-year-old movie star wandering around. Nobody.
Maybe she'll be cast in something soon. Yeah.
Listen. That is, if I may, this has nothing to do with motocross, but it has something to do with being a parent. I watch Tony Alessi, and I watch, over the years, moms and dads.
Crazy Cindy Thomas, gnarly.
Crazy.
One of the gnarliest. One of the gnarliest.
Crazy Frank Thomas.
There you go. Right.
And I don't really process that because my dad was such a lenient dad. My dad wanted me to be a whatever the hell I wanted to be. So I can play basketball with anyone here. I can play football with anyone here. I can't skate backwards, so hockey's out of the question.
Sorry, Steve.
And soccer still doesn't exist in West Virginia.
Sorry.
But I never understood that. And then my daughter started acting. And by the luck of the draw, because that's what it was, at one point someone said, hey, let's get her to be in this movie as this person's daughter. And then, hey, let's get her to be this abducted little girl in this thing. And I'm like, And all of a sudden, the contracts, the checks, and I'm like, oh my God, no wonder people go crazy. Because I'm like, no, we are going to school in the morning. We're not going to watch it, but she has done a few things, and it's fun. But I now have a complete empathy for what Big James and Jeannie and Ricky and Tony and any parent went through, because all of a sudden you're like, I have an 8-year-old that's making more than I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tony tells a story. I mean, quitting the garage or garbage truck. Was he? He
was a sanitation engineer.
Nick
Quit's dad also.
Yeah, quitting that because that's it. We're going racing, and you kids are going to make the money.
Well, I'm not going to quit being the sanitation engineer of the infield at Loretta Lynn's.
All right. Good to hear. Good to hear.
I can help if you need, anything.
And nor is my little girl going to homeschool.
Okay.
No way.
Audience question. Oh, here we go. Load it up. Load him up.
Hey, I love how Davey's become the steward for this stuff. Like he actually has very little to do with it, anything at all. But
he has become the whisperer of the Brock Tickle situation.
But it's Davey's fault. Or Davey, you explain it to
Well,
him.
you're the expert, apparently, analyst on this. Every time he's come on this show, it's Brock Tickle.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Brock Tickle had his first and second hearing with the CAS, which is the court of a French saying, but the court of sporting arbitration.
Only in New Jersey would we not need a microphone to be able to hear the
people in the crowd. I like that.
That's right.
I like that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, whether you're outdoor motocross and you sign up with USADA, or you're Supercross and you sign up with WADA. USADA is the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. WADA is the World Anti-Doping Agency. You don't really get to pick things. You don't get to pick your time, your penalties, your whatnot. We just wanted a fair and objective way of making sure that our athletes were clean. The teams asked for it, the athletes asked for it, so we did it. The difference is, if you have a domestic company like USADA, things happen a little quicker. And this is the explanation I give. Brock Tickle failed a drug test in February of last year. He still hasn't gotten his final answer, although I believe we'll hear it within the next 14 days.
Okay. 14. So only take 15 months.
But it's been over a year. It's a travesty. In America, we have an idea that we're innocent until proven guilty. When you fail a drug test, you're guilty. And they look at it differently on the other side of the world. So my point is, since that time, who here hates the New England Patriots?
Not that many, actually. So I thought it'd be
Who
more.
loves the New England Patriots? Okay, so you guys know Julian Edelman's situation. Julian Edelman failed a drug test in June or July. He raised a fuss. They told him guilty. He accepted his penalty. He sat out 4 games, cost him millions of dollars. They reinstated him, and then he became the Super Bowl MVP. All of this happened in the time where Brock Tickle can't get his phone answered. He can't get an email back.
It's a travesty. It
really is a travesty.
It's terrible.
So I know that the people at Supercross, I know that the people at the AMA are working to come up with a system like we have in the Outdoor Motocross Series, where I'm very proud to say that we test across the board. We have not had a single, what do you call it, failed test or arbitrary finding.
You should
Positive
test,
or fail,
you should test the series announcers.
No, Langston. Don't test Langston. Don't test Langston.
Yeah. Langston fails, we just cheat.
Right. Davey, I think a lot of us bench racers, a lot of us fans, this guy here, Motocross the Nations. What the hell is happening? What the hell is going on?
We've lost a lot, Steve.
If I could put it in 3 bullet points.
Okay.
And I haven't thought about this, but I'm going to make this up on the fly.
All right, well, this is good radio.
Every flight home from Motocross Nations, I've considered bullet points.
Yeah, you've got bullet points.
Hollow tip.
Take that however you want.
Number 1, we race Supercross and practice Supercross 8 months out of a 12-month calendar year. All the things we learn in the summer on our dirt bikes, racing motocross, we forget about in September because we go into full Supercross mode. And in Europe, whatever settings Tony Cairoli and Jeffrey Hurlings have, they're building on every single race. They do not venture into Supercross. They do not venture into Arenacross. They don't care. They are 100%, 365 days a year, motocross racers. We are literally 250 days a year Supercross racers. And even just to switch that lever and say, hey, now it's outdoors, the guys are so used to riding with really, really stiff suspension that they can't just do the soft suspension. That's number 1. Number 2 is the fact that Youthstream, who I'm now friendly with.
We like them now again, yeah.
Today.
Right.
Who's been to Redbud before? All right. Who was at Redbud for the Motocross of Nations?
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
Did you not think, what the hell happened to Redbud? Because it wasn't the same track.
It was not the same track.
It wasn't the same track.
No, wasn't the same track.
It was a sand track.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, we put the sand down in case it rained. I'm like, no, you cut ditches in case it rains. We do it all the time at High Point because it rains all the time. I think this particular year we got 6th, 7th, whatever place we got, because
Italy got disqualified.
Because of Italy, thank you.
Italy, thank you,
Italy
Italy.
got disqualified.
Thank God.
5th.
So
now we're good.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
I am. I'll take it.
So
All right.
the last thing, and I hate to say this.
Oh boy.
I believe that we've gotten to a situation where our team is no longer working together because it's hard for, let's say, a Monster Energy Kawasaki rider and let's say a Star Racing Yamaha rider to submit to what a Red Bull KTM manager is saying and asking and talking and saying, this needs to be your settings. I love Roger DeCoster. Roger DeCoster knows more about motocross than all of us and all of you put together. But he's in a situation where people are not cooperating with him because they're holding their cards close to their vest. I think we might be near the time where we reconsider the configuration of Team USA so that a completely neutral person with great experience like Brock Glover, like
me?
Ricky Johnson, like
Mitch Payton.
No? Same problem.
RC? RC?
You have the same problem.
Ricky, really? Okay.
Ricky's still affiliated with Suzuki.
Okay.
I think it takes somebody to focus on it for 365 days.
Tony Alessi.
Tony Alessi wouldn't be bad.
It wouldn't be bad.
Tony Alessi
It would not be bad.
If you told Tony this was his job,
Oh, yeah.
would anybody work harder, think harder, analyze harder?
We would go
figure-
back to 100% crazy.
You would.
We would go back to 100% crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more suggestions? I love Tony.
Is anybody
I
else
love
on
Tony.
that?
And Tony,
Wow.
Tony's like Tony's my buddy.
It ain't
slash crazy friend.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's person I want to fist fight.
He's the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving that you're like, just
Tony.
everybody.
Tony.
All I ever needed to say to Tony, David Villeman said on the PulpMX show, Tony.
I'm managing that team for the first 2 nationals.
I know.
Like, what the hell happened? Good God.
So that's to me that's Team USA. The deck is rigged. Not.
Nah, it's rigged. You can say it.
It's not rigged on purpose. But we
fundamentally
we concentrate on Supercross.
Yeah.
Supercross of Nations. If we had a Supercross of Nations, the winner would be Florida. Second place would be California. Third place would be
Fort Dodge,
North Carolina.
Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Right. Well,
And
Gavin
then-
Faith,
and then-
Justin
and
Braden.
then like 11th would be France.
But literally,
In Canada?
No.
But literally, as a racer, April you start thinking about it. You start riding it a little bit. You know, May you're all in. But then it's like May, June, July, August, and then when our series ends at the end of August, and then it's like, okay, Supercross again. Like, and they're done.
It's hard to see how it's going to get much better. It really is. It's hard to see.
I agree. And this year is going to be a vacation. Anyone going to the Motocross of Nations in Holland? Please go for a holiday. Don't go for a victory.
As JT likes to say, it's going to be an ass kicking.
Yeah, but I do believe that even now, we're at the end of April. I guarantee you that Marvin Musquin, Eli Tomac, Ken Roxon, and of course Cooper Webb aren't even thinking about their outdoor settings. They still have a dog in this fight. They still have a chance. And man, in Europe, they're 2 months into motocross.
Yeah. I mean, they're testing, but it's a nuisance. It's just something we've got to go through. It's on the schedule.
Kiefer and I have them right where we need them. Right where we need them.
Do we have to officially quit? Can we just keep talking when this is over?
I think that's what's going to happen,
Right.
pretty much.
No, speaking of that, I think it's time to wrap this thing up, man. If you have the meet and greet tickets, stick around. We'll be right back after. I want to thank Yamaha. I want to thank The Loft, Clinton Esposito. Thank you, people, for coming in. Davey Coombs, Damon Bradshaw, Barry Carsten. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. It's been a fun time, and we'll be right back out after this if you got a meet and greet. So thank you, Davey. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. Thank you very much. Appreciate your comment.